Hello, everybody, and welcome on in to Mountie All Access. We have a sprint football matchup for you on this happy homecoming Saturday. Welcome to the pregame show. Here I'm Drew Patrick, and joined with me is our color commentator for the game, Mr. George Tubby Schmidt. Tubby, how are you doing?
I am doing well, Drew. I'm actually really looking forward to this homecoming event. A bunch of the alumni came back. It's good to see them here at Mansfield. And just learning about the rich traditions that we have here at Mansfield.
Yeah, but before we look ahead to this week, let's quickly review last week. It was a win here. It was Luma, another big weekend. Tubby, what were some of your takeaways from that game?
Much better cohesiveness on the offensive side of the ball. They looked a lot better. Kobe Peacock, the freshman quarterback, was able to pick his targets, find his targets. They were well balanced with the run and the passing. And glaring overall, they were also able to mitigate a lot of the penalties that we saw in the first home game. So they eliminated a lot of the simple stuff that they can get rid of. And this time they had 38 minutes and 35 seconds to control the ball, time of possession, which they really struggled with the week prior to that. So big improvement out of them. Special teams look great. I challenged the defensive line to go get me a sack, and they got me two. So I was pretty excited to see that happen. And, they really took advantage of what they do well. They also scored on special teams, which I believe we'll get to a little bit later in the show, which is our play of the week, that kickoff return.
One of the nominees, absolutely.
All around excellent. Just a real good, solid team effort. I mean, it's really not like a whole lot to nitpick, to pick apart in that way. I'm mostly going to say it's flawless, but from where they started to where they're at now, it's leap and bounds ahead. Yeah,
there was so much improvement from even the week before that we saw them at their young quarterback, Kobe Peacock, which, again, we'll get to a little later on the pregame show. But just all around, they're becoming comfortable. And I think getting into that comfortable level where you're comfortable but not complacent, that's where Mansfield wants to find right now. And let's briefly, since we have some time, let's talk about this atmosphere and homecoming. What are the challenges of making sure your young team in Mansfield is ready to deal with the extra things going on?
Well, you know what? I think they benefit, and Coach talked to us a little bit about this pregame, but they benefit from having two big home games in a row and then going right into homecoming. So their very first home game, was Military Appreciation Day. And they had a lot going on with all of that and all the extra stuff. They had the kids down from Wellsboro. They had extra cheerleaders. So, everybody and their cousin was here that opening day game. And then you go to last week, which was Luma, Light Up Mansfield again. So another big historic thing, and that even brought national attention, as it was mentioned on ESPN several times. There was an article in Newsweek on Mansfield being the home of night football. So a lot of external things, and Mansfield, the Mounties, were able to come away with a win last week, even through all the chaos. So now, even though it's homecoming, and it's more about the alumni and those that aren't on campus full-time anymore, is basically what homecoming's about. And you're just trying to play a football game, but they're used to it. It's old hat to them by now.
And it might be completely the opposite on the other side. This is a brand-new program to the Sprint Football League. They do have a Division II team at Alderson Broaddus, but this is their Sprint Football team's first season. They're all freshmen, and their first 3 games of the year have been at home, so this is their first trip away from their home field. That's going to be a big factor in this game.
Yeah, I mean, how do they deal with just the logistics of it, getting on and off the bus, getting in and out of the hotel, settling down, trying to get some sleep the night before? How is that going to play out come, third and fourth quarter? So it'll be interesting to see if that team can kind of rise up. But also it'll be nice. It's like Coach told us too, Mansfield's a really young team too. and they're all freshmen. The only difference is that we've been home the last 2 weeks and are now home for the third week in a row, and it's our third, if I like to call it, primetime game where the focus is on football.
Absolutely. You know, last week we had a great play here on this field that is up for play of the week. We also had a great soccer play last week. Take a look at this from Mounties midweek. It's play of the week. We'll talk about it here. Let's go to earlier in the week, shall we? It is now time for play of the week. Last week we had a field hockey against football matchup, and based on your votes, and it was a close vote, this was your winner. This week, we have a football versus football matchup. We start Saturday down in Shepherdstown, West Virginia, and the Mansfield Mountaineers get the go-ahead goal off of the toe of Sierra Austin. That's the only goal of the game, and the Mountaineers come away the 1-0 winner against Shepherd. Play number 2 comes from sprint football. After a safety, the ensuing kickoff, and Bob Michaels on the call.
We're going to be fielded at the 29-yard line. It's a burst of speed up the middle to the far sideline, and a kickoff return.
You can vote for which one of these plays is your pick for play of the week, and results will be revealed next week. Yeah, make sure you go vote on Twitter at Mountie All Access for one of those 2 plays. There's still time to vote, folks, for which one of those plays you want to be play of the week for this next week between Sierra Austin's game-winning goal against Shepherd and Terrence Quaker's long kickoff return touchdown from last week. Look, Tubby, I'll let you go first with talking about that Quaker touchdown. What made it so special?
Just the timing of it. If you look at the if you go back, you can watch on demand at Go Mounties. You can see the game, and right before that play, St. Thomas Aquinas had scored. So this was the answer. This was the kickoff after that score and extra point attempt, and he was able to not only just field the ball correctly, but he stepped enough to allow his blocking to set up so that when he hit that hole, he was just gone after that, and there was nobody. They weren't spread out discipline-wise to maintain a lane control. So once you hit that first initial wave, you hit that hole in that wave, he was gone, and he almost knew it right from as soon as he cleared that that Donnybrook, if you will. He was gone, and everybody up here knew it.
Yeah, and the other thing that made that play great was the fact he had 2 that day. Only that one counted, but he did have another one later on in the game that was taken back from a penalty. That soccer play, though, Sierra Austin's goal, as we mentioned, it was a 1-0 win down in Shepherd. It was their first win of the season, and this team has talked constantly, this women's soccer team, about how this is Mansfield 2.0. We're making that leap. We're taking that next step to improvement, and that was the biggest step for it, to get that goal, to get that win against a conference team. So a win in the conference gave them a lot of momentum. They are right now, the next game after that was against the number 6 team in the country, Millersville. They scored 2 goals on that Millersville team. Millersville has not allowed a 2-goal game season all year. And Mansfield was able to put 2, so that was definitely the start. So these are 2 great plays. Once again, you can vote for which one of them you think is play of the week by heading over to Twitter at Mountie All Access. All one word with the last S missing, because Twitter has a restriction on how long your username can be. No, you know what? This being Hall of Fame, or this being homecoming weekend, we had the Hall of Fame ceremony just yesterday, and we had some great Mountaineers inducted into the Hall of Fame. Brene Edwards from cross country, track and field, Tommy Harvey from men's basketball and football's Walt Hartshorn and Don Mahon, as well as the 3rd team inducted into the Mansfield Hall of Fame, the 1983-84 men's basketball team. You guys can watch that ceremony. It's in its entirety on Mountie All Access on demand. after our game here today. And there were some great speeches there, Tubby, truthfully. I remember when Brene Edwards, the cross-country and track and field, she is a 10,000-meter national champion. And she ran in Colorado, had to deal with the altitude, had to deal with a whole career full of injuries, and that is one of the greatest stories of not only redemption, but the stories of overcoming adversity. Brene Edwards definitely is that human being that I would say, someone who definitely defines that. Also this morning, Tubby, we had the Butsco breakfast, which is a big Mansfield football event, and we were able to go to that. And I'll let you talk a little bit more about the Butsco breakfast.
Yeah, the Butsco breakfast to me was really eye-opening. It was the first time I had an opportunity to attend. A lot of alumni, the current football team was there with coaches, were in attendance, as well as President Patterson was there with his wife. And they gave out a total of 3 awards. The first one they gave out was the Austin Duke Snyder Award, which went to our very own Chris Vaughn.
Yeah, the illustrious Chris Vaughn.
The man, the myth, the legend here, the PA announcer for basically all Mountie athletics, I almost want to say. He does it all.
Yeah, he is the man.
And has done 37 years of calling it right here from the announcer's booth and has only missed 1 game.
Yeah.
He stated he has called a total of 165 Mountie games.
Football games specifically. That's not even counting the other sports.
That's not counting everything else the man does.
Mountie football. That's incredible.
So it was great to hear his story. The next award winner was Zach McCluskey. He won the John J. Adkins Mountie Award for Perseverance. I believe it was his father that presented the award.
And the legendary Steve McCluskey.
And just gave an excellent speech about all that Zach has endured and what he has gone through with battling epilepsy and his fight. Now it seems like he's finally come out of that on the backside. And we'll be rejoining, I guess, the Mountie family back here
in Sports Information.
Yeah, at Sports Information. So look forward to working with him in the future. I believe he's slated to return in the spring.
Mm-hmm.
Just an outstanding story. You can read up on this. Both stories, there's an excellent write-up on gomounties.com/news. And then for the actual Butsco Award, will go to Dante Teresi. And just an outstanding individual. He's a third-year member of the team, offensive lineman, outstanding guy all around, good teammate, good man about town. I mean, just an outstanding individual all the way around.
And Teresi's a guy who's truthfully all about Mansfield and loves Mansfield and loves wearing the colors. He's in the grind at the offensive lineman. He's got a lot of heart, a well-deserving winner for this award.
Yeah, he gave an impassioned acceptance speech, and what struck me the most is not how much pride and love he has for Mansfield, but also for his position. He's one of these kids that gets the lineman mentality, that no stats for a lineman is the best stat for a lineman, because that means you're not giving up sacks, you're not giving up penalty yards, you're not, basically, if they never call your name, you've done your job to the best you can do. And he's an individual that truly gets it.
Yeah, and he was telling the story how he came and he thought he was going to play linebacker here, and then all of a sudden he gets introduced to his offensive line or his coach, and it's the offensive line coach Richard Conrad, who was here the last couple of years. And he has not looked back. He has made his friend and now former teammate and now coach Tristan Sissio was able to introduce him. It was a fantastic way to start today. And we have a fantastic game coming up for you once again. Alderson Broaddus is the visiting squad up against your Mansfield Mountaineers. And one of the keys to this game, Tubby, that we'll break down is the growth and the development of Kobe Peacock.
I 100% agree. I totally believe that as Kobe Peacock goes, so will this Mounties football team.
So let's take a look. What makes Kobe Peacock so special as the freshman quarterback in charge? He has a completion percentage under 50%. That needs to improve. But the first thing I want to look at is accuracy here. His accuracy, especially his deep ball accuracy. This play from last week. Look at this. That's perfectly placed where it needs to be to DJ McLean. The foot came a little bit out of bounds, but that's a perfect ball. This one, just a quick two-step drop. This is against Caldwell. That is perfect for John Rogers. Allows his receiver to be able to make a play on it. And then this one is just flawless. Perfect teardrop into the bread basket to McLean for the touchdown from Chestnut Hill a couple years ago. The other thing he does really well, his mobility and his patience. And what I'm talking about with mobility and patience, it'll be here. This is just a quick play action, able to sell it and get out of danger and find Jaden Walker just wide open in the back of the end zone. Also from that game, this one, look, the pocket collapses. He's forced out of the pocket and waits patiently, sets his feet, and allows John Rogers to just say, nope, I'll take this back end. Of course, when he has to just pull it down and run, he has the ability to do that. Pocket again collapses, the escapability and able to rush here for a first down and more, and keeps those feet churning. Took a lesson out of the David Butler camp. But this play here, this is what I mean with his mobility. The pocket collapses. He wants to go forward. That's nothing. He buys time rolling out and gets this pass for a first down to McLean. That's what he does extremely well. He has had some freshman miscues, however. This one from last week, it's fourth down. You got to make a play, but he has plenty of time, forces that one in, and that one gets picked off on fourth down. Then this against Chestnut Hill. Look at the first down. You have time. He sails this one long, miscommunication, and that was all she wrote in that game. So those things he needs to clean up, but he has done an excellent job improving every single week to really make himself a threat, Tubby.
Right, and we talked to Coach about it a little bit too, and they've been working on it. Now that they've got the whole menu, if you will, out before him, now they're just fine-tuning, and now it's just a matter of cleaning up. So, the foundation's been laid, the walls are put up. Now it's time to, add the drywall, throw some paint on, and call the interior decorator and get me some throw pillows.
Absolutely. I think, he has looked much better every single week as it goes along. Being at home for the third straight week is definitely going to help him, and it helps that he has probably the best two safety blankets in the CSFL in DJ McLean at receiver and David Butler at running back. Those two guys are very good for a young quarterback to have.
Right, because, there's a country song that goes, if I die before I wake, feed Jake, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if I die before I wake, feed Butler, feed him often and consistently. The kid is just phenomenal with his not only his breakaway speed, but his actual toughness and his yards after contact.
And he's obviously in weight, but he's just built the right way for sprint football. That's David Butler. Going back to Kobe Peacock, Tubby, what are some of the things and what's going to be key for him to have a big game in this game?
I think if he just remains patient and calm to begin with, allow his offensive line to set up the blocks, and simply take what this defense will give him. I think, it's kind of like Coach said earlier, this Broaddus team can probably protect against the pass, and they can probably protect against the run, but they can't do both at the same time. So they're going to give up one or the other, and it's just finding out what that is and sticking with it.
Yeah, both teams have made their way onto the field, and that'll bring us to, let's talk about who we're going to see on the field. The starting lineups, starting with Alderson Broaddus at quarterback. You have a man who can chuck it out of their pseudo wing tee that they run. You have a man who's going to be able to chuck the ball around. And looking at their offense, as we mentioned, the wing tee, a lot of backs in there, one split end, and that's Roberts. They're going to want to run the ball early, and the people leading the way, their offensive lineman. Matt Dillon is their leader, one of their only seniors on this group. He's a guy who was on their Division II team last week. And then we'll show you the defense here as we step aside for the national anthem.
From court to court and lane to lane, under the lights or under the sun, no one delivers Division II sports like NCAA.com. The center of D2 is inside the NCAA.com hub, with exclusive highlights of every sport and live broadcasts of every Division II championship found nowhere else. Make NCAA.com yours, the home of Division II college sports.
And for the Mountaineers, your starters, the quarterback, we talked about him, Kobe Peacock, the freshman. He's going to have to be spectacular here today. The skill position players, of course, David Butler, the man, the myth, the legend. David Butler has been an excellent start to this year. Of course, your safety net and Derek McLean. And then you have a couple of guys who really have been effective. And John Rogers in his freshman year has scored in every single game this year. Tubby, your favorite people in the world, the offensive lineman, Dante Teresi, leading the way for this group.
Yep, I absolutely loved it. Love the O-line, and I love so much about what's great about sprint football is because everybody's the same size, it becomes more about technique and who has the better technique.
On the defensive side, the defensive lineman is going to look very similar to last week. Chase Mosier has been great at the defensive or at the nose tackle this year. Your linebackers led by their senior Andrew Schwenk and Matt Roberts, who leads the team in tackle. And then your defensive backs, a dangerous group, including that man Terrence Quaker and DeJuan Bowie, Brandon Allen, and Riley Gott. It's going to be a tough group really to deal with defensively. Tubby, it's about that time. You had a chance to speak to Coach Evans before the game. It's time for Tubby's Pick Six.
Right, so first of all, it's like I mentioned earlier. Coach said they just got to take, for offensively, they just got to take what the defense gives them. Also, he said we got to feed Butler. We got to feed him often, but there's enough tape on him now that maybe he might get keyed in on, but that should open up the passing game. And, they're in the hunt here for first place in the division. They got to win here, secure this win here at home, and head in the bye, rest up, get healthy, and then be ready to take on the lion's share of their schedule. Defense, they run a two-quarterback system with their two quarterbacks here out of Broaddus. And like you mentioned earlier, one of them can launch at just about 60 yards. So their wide receivers are also really quick when they do put them in. And he also mentioned that it's not a true wing T, but it's a wing T-esque offense. And their head coach, Denny Crean, who's on leave right now, is one of the innovators of the way T created it. So, of course, they're going to run it.
Yeah, that'd be effective here at the Sprint Football League 100%. Real quick programming note, of course, we have this game for you now, but tonight, guys, this homecoming is going to be a long day because we have field hockey and a challenging field hockey matchup for you. Your Mansfield Mountaineers off to the best start in program history, face the defending national champion Shippensburg Raiders, who've had a slow start to this year, so that should be an exciting one. That starts at 6 o'clock So tune in to that one. But here for football, we are going to take a break. That's going to do it for me. When we come back, we will have Bob Michaels and Tubby on the other side. Do not go anywhere. This is Mansfield Sprint Football on Mountie All Access, presented by Visit Potter Tioga.
As I've gone through school, I've been trying to pay off my tuition as I go, and it wouldn't have been possible without the help of the Mansfield Foundation.
I mean, the Mansfield Foundation already helped me a lot. As of right now, I don't have any school debt whatsoever, and I know the Mansfield Foundation has definitely helped with all the scholarships that I've received over the years for that.
The Mansfield Foundation has helped me out several times throughout my college career. They have helped keep my finances intact.
If you have any sort of instincts, you can get a feel of good people and bad people. Like the people at the foundation are as straightforward as they come.
Fans, good afternoon and welcome to Mansfield University Sprint Football. I'm Bob Michaels with George Tubby Schmidt, and we are just about ready to go, waiting for the opening kickoff. Mansfield will receive. They will move from right to left. And what a glorious day of the home team with a mark of 2-1. Here's an end-over-end kick that'll bounce at about the 33-yard line and pounced upon immediately. Actually, that was the 27-yard line. And it looks like a fumble on the kickoff, and the Battlers have recorded and recovered the ball, Tubby.
Yeah, just a mishandling by the return man there. Bobbled a little bit, and Broaddus able to capitalize on it. And now they're in excellent field position, starting out here from the Mansfield 30-yard line.
All right, the Battlers living up to their name right now. Got a couple of men that'll be deployed left and right. Their quarterback is Josh DeRocher. Fullback is Ronnie Robinson, working out of the shotgun formation. So here's the initial snap. They will go up top, a slant pattern, and it falls incomplete off the fingertips, and that, by all standards, should have been a reception. And so we'll come back and do it again.
For Teddy Tyler, incomplete. Second down.
Teddy Tyler was the intended receiver. One of those, just a simple slant-in pattern. And this will be a running play, a little stumbling activity, getting back to the point where the ball actually touched down on the kickoff, and the ball handler, Max Christ, who is a freshman running back.
Yeah, only a gain of a yard for them on that play. The Mansfield defensive line had that one really sniffed out pretty well. I just went along with the motion and was able to wrap up the ball runner.
All right, so going wide left side will be Taj Roberts for Alderson Broaddus University from Philippi, West Virginia. And DeRoche's in trouble, and he is brought down. That is a single sack back to the 40-yard line. Josh DeRoche really had no chance whatsoever as the front line was breaching that very quickly.
And that sack is worth $25. Compliments of the
so it will bring up a fourth down. We have one man deep for Mansfield, dropping back to about the 10-yard line. And that is a end-over-end kick that's going to be pooched and going out of play on or near the 25-yard line of Mansfield. So the Mountaineers really had no chance on a run back by Terrence Quaker.
That's where the Mansfield offense takes over. First and 10.
Well, Tubby and Drew Patrick, part of their pregame show on Mountie's All Access, talking about the highlights from last week, and Terrence Quaker is one man that jumps out immediately, along with that of David Butler. And Quaker, as we said, had no chance for a run back as he showed us last week. A running play, and here's the Butler, and does he do it? Yes, he does. He gets out to near the 30-yard line.
On the play by number 50, Zach Lockwood.
I was chatting with Mansfield coach John Evans before a game today, and he was talking about Butler, and I said, Coach, you look at some of these young men out there, and looks are deceiving. With the weight limitation, Tubby, and Butler, I mean, from this vantage point, he's got legs the size of tree trunks. Here's Kobe Peacock carrying the football, breaks to the outside, cuts through a hole. He's across the 35 and near the 37-yard line.
Keeps the football.
Good enough for a Mansfield first down, and I like that play a lot, Bob, because, as Coach kind of predicted, they were keying off with David Butler. Realizing that that's going to happen, Kobe called his own number and was able to scramble for the first down.
Colby Peacock recruited as a wide receiver for the Mountaineers, but he's turned into a better-than-fine freshman quarterback, and he will keep the football and will be punished. Got out to about the line of scrimmage, might have hit the 38, and then pushed backward.
Yeah, the way the decoy works, Bob, is occasionally you have to give it to the decoy so that they believe it. I think that was one of those ones where he probably could have pitched it out to Butler on that one.
So McLean coming wide to the near side, man in slot, and likewise on the far side, out of the gun formation. Peacock goes up top, it's tipped, and it is caught on a deflection, but pulled in by Jaden Walker. And he is across the 45 to the 46-yard line. So it'll bring up third and close, just about a yard. One of the more exciting players that we've seen so far, especially in last week's game against Chestnut Hill, was DJ McLean. Here's Butler running the ball. He's got a first down and then adds a little bit more and just crosses the dividing line. We're going to mark it right on the Mansfield portion of the 50-yard line. First down, Mountaineers. Two men split far side. McLean has a wide out near side. Peacock drops back, looks to the right side. He fires off a pass. It's caught at the 45-yard line of Broaddus. You know, in this era of political correctness, Tubby, and everything, you look at names, and who can argue with a name like Battlers?
Right.
And that's the nickname for the Broaddus University football team. They're out of Philippi, West Virginia. Peacock the snap. The give is to Butler. Reverse inside handoff. This is Walker on the run. Jaden's got a first down. And adds about an extra 7 miles, 7 yards.
Give or take. I mean, it's all relative.
But we see a flag.
They're going to say offsides.
That's against Broaddus.
So we're declining, and we'll take the yardage and the first down.
All right.
Penalty was against Alderson Broaddus. Mansfield declines the penalty, takes the yardage. First down.
Dejan Bowie going wide to the far side. We got trips to the right. Running play for Butler. Measures the distance. He'll be grabbed and brought down. Stop made by Tashawn Tyler, but there is a flag. Flag lying at about the 28-yard line of Alderson Broaddus.
Yeah, I believe this is going to be a hold. Or an illegal block here somewhere.
Well, they're talking to the defensive captain for Broaddus. And the Mountaineers can only stand by and watch as interested bystanders. Fans, plenty of time for you to come out to Van Norman Field and check out today's game. Just starting to change the foliage here, and as a backdrop on a beautiful sunny afternoon, we've got football action going on. They'll assess the penalty against Alderson Broaddus and a 15-yarder, Tubby.
Yeah, it's a personal foul.
But talk about great field position. So it's silver platter service for the Mountaineers as the ball sits inside the 15. Let's call it the 14-yard line.
Down to the 14-yard line.
First and 10 for the Mountaineers.
On the Alderson Broaddus 14-yard line.
The snap, Colby looks, he's got a man open. Pass is caught to the 5-yard line. Who on the reception?
John Rogers on the reception.
No, that's Rogers.
The pass, tackled by.
And the Mountaineers with that hurry-up offense trying to get it in motion. The snap, give it to Butler. Butler through a hole. He's in, or the ball's loose.
I'm not sure if he crossed the plane or if was down by contact or waiting for a ruling from the refs.
Fumble by the Mountaineers. We have unofficial official out there from Broaddus signifying that it is a first down for them. So not the case. Mountaineer ball.
All right, so yeah, it's a wash. Mountaineers end up with the ball.
Inside the 1-yard line.
All right.
So first and inches for the Mountaineers.
First and inches.
The snap to give to Butler. He's in. Touchdown, David Butler. And the Mountaineers are on the board. So first score of the game, Butler from short range. And now the PAT team on the floor. They're going to go for the single PAT on that artificial surface. Here's the put down, the kick. Wide to the left. No good. It is a 6-0 game here in Mansfield University, and we will step aside for this reminder.
Drop off the father. Kids run downpour to the bank.
As I've gone through school, I've been trying to pay off my tuition as I go, and it wouldn't have been possible without the help of the Mansfield Foundation.
I mean, the Mansfield Foundation already helped me a lot. As of right now, I don't have any school debt whatsoever, and I know the Mansfield Foundation has definitely helped with all the scholarships that I've received over the years for that.
The Mansfield
Prohibited.
Welcome to Mansfield University as we have a 6-0 score favoring the home team, Mansfield. David Butler getting it done.
Yeah, just an excellent, just got it out. It was second and inches. Just hand the ball to your big running back and punch it through.
And here is the kickoff. It's a beauty. And it is going to roll into the end zone. Not touched by any of the receiving teams, so they'll bring it out to the 20.
Kick booms into the end zone. Alderson Broaddus will get their next possession.
It's almost like the Battlers expected there to be somebody else back there in the backfield, Bob. They just kind of let it roll through and kind of looked at each other like, wait, you're not back there? No. I thought you were back there.
So the Battlers coming out in all white uniforms, white helmets. And DeRocha hands off. There's a flag almost immediately on the contact.
Yeah, and that'll be holding against the Battlers, Bob.
Simmer and Farr on the carry. Tackled by the one buoy. Holding penalty against Alderson Broaddus is the infraction.
Brilliant sunshine at Karl Van Norman Field. And as the flag is walked off, it'll be walked back to the 15-yard line.
Yeah, and they have a new quarterback in Timmy Tillman. He's in the game at quarterback for the Battlers.
He rolls out to the left side. He's going to fire a pass, and it's thrown out of bounds near about the 23-yard line. Good field or good pass coverage by the Mountaineers, congratulating one another. Mansfield has put together a 2-1 record so far this season. And this first-year program from Alderson Broaddus of West Virginia, visiting the Mountaineers, first time ever, under the direction of their head coach, Brad Jett. I jokingly suggested he might be related to Joan. Trips to the near side, a single receiver far side, and down on the field. There's a timeout called by Alderson Broaddus.
I think they were running out of time on the play clock.
Okay. Well, we will step aside and take a break here on RLM Sports and Mounties All Access.
In life, some surprises. Us at FHFCU.org to open your Kasasa Cash checking account today. Insured by NCUA. APY equals annual percentage yield. Some restrictions apply.
All right, strategy set now by the Battlers. Timmy Tillman at the helm now for Broaddus. The snap and the handoff left side. There's a hole that opens up. And a huge chunk of real estate realized out there close to the 26-yard line. And they're going to actually bring it back to about the 24-yard line.
So that'll give them 3rd and 11 to go as he's almost back to the original line of scrimmage.
Simeon Ferrara on the carry there for Alderson Broaddus. Tillman the snap, and again, handoff left side. A lot of unrestrained energy out there from the defensive side for the Mountaineers. You know, tell me, when you think about football, kids making the transition from high school ball to sprint football size, and of course, for those uninitiated, you've got that weight limitation, but, you know, you look at some players like David Butler, for example. The kid looks like he's more than 182 pounds out there.
Yeah, definitely appears that he had to cut to make that weight.
We got a flag on both sides of the field. And as it's punctuated out of bounds, actually stays in bounds, down in the Mountaineer 40-yard range.
It's either going to be I think it's going to be an offside or a hold.
Well, we were talking about sprint football and all of that, and those uninitiated, it's like regular football, other than the fact that you do have that weight limitation. And I remember the first time when the Mountaineers first introduced sprint football about 6 years ago, and I'm sitting here and I'm looking out and I'm going, where are the big, beefy players out there? You got wide receivers, you got quarterback tight ends, but no linemen. Well, there they are, and they've got speed.
And everybody's equal. So you don't have – that's when the focus shifts then from, like, how big and, you know, how heavy you are to your technique. And you really have to get your technique right because everybody's right level with another guy.
All right, it's punting time now for the Battlers. Quaker is back right around his own 46-yard line. Waiting for the snap. Here it is. And the kick. It's a booming kick. And it's going to take a Mansfield bounce, hit down near the 42, and then rolled backwards near the 46. So once again, Colby Peacock and the Mountaineer offense will have great field position to begin as they have a 6-0 lead here.
Yep, and Terrence Quaker gets a little bit of a rest after those two kicks.
First down for Mansfield on the 45.
Well, we're looking for pass completions to McLean, and we've not seen any go in his direction yet. Peacock and Butler in the backfield. Got a man in motion. And the give, sweep near side. Slide by a would-be tackler. Here's a hole opening up on the near side. And that is Terrence Quaker, who breaks to the outside. And he is down. I thought for a moment we might have had an injured Broaddus player, but and not Quaker.
No, that was Ryan Ripka, number 28.
Rips off a 24-yard gain to the 31-yard line. First down, up on himself, Ryan Ripka.
Excuse me. Bowie has a wide out far side. Ripka in motion. Give it to Butler. Dodges one minute. Oh, that was a horse collar from our vantage point.
I believe the ref agrees as the flag's on the play.
And away from the ball, there was a little extracurricular going on downfield right around the 20-yard line between a Mountaineer and a Battler.
Yeah, I believe that was an impassionate discussion on proper blocking techniques, Bob.
Ripka exiting the game right now. Inadvertent flag.
Flag picked up, no penalty on the play. A loss of 3 yards, second and 13.
Okay, so they're going to pick it up and call no call.
Right. So they say a loss of 3 yards for the Mountaineers. Peacock in the pocket. Flares it out to the near side, and the pass is complete to Brandon DeJesus.
Brandon DeJesus on the receiving end of the Peacock pass. Pushed out of bounds by Deshaun Tyler.
Field position right now for the Mountaineers. They are in Battler territory
and 11.
at the 32-yard line.
Oh, the far side receiver is John Rogers.
It looks like a crunched 2 for Rogers. Peacock's got protection, races out of the pocket. They're after him now. He's going to throw a pass. And almost, it is broken up. Incompleted pass near the 20-yard line.
Peacock, it's fourth down.
Yeah, the defensive for Broaddus did a really good job. He just basically sat on the route and watched the receiver, and as soon as the ball just about arrived, that's when he pounced.
John Evans has a decision to make. Do we go for it or do we punt? Ball is sitting at the 32-yard line, and they apparently are going to go for it. DeJesus will be deployed out along with Rogers on the right-hand side. Butler just a half step behind his quarterback in the backfield. Colby rolling out to his right. Here's a pursuit and the pass. And it is thrown. And it's caught. What a completion. And a first down to boot. To the 19-yard line. Colby Peacock under a lot of pressure and somehow is able to make that completion inbounds.
Yeah, his ability to get his feet set and just put that ball where only his receiver could get it.
First and 10 on the 19-yard line of Alderson Broaddus.
All right, so the drive stays alive. The Gamblers, a.k.a. the Mountaineers, going to work. Peacock keeping the football. He's got a corner. He's through a hole across the 15 down to near the 13-yard line.
15-yard line, tackle on the play by Deshaun Tyler.
Tyler makes a stop for the Broaddus Battlers. Kind of flows nicely, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
First and 4, Mountaineers. Peacock, little flare pass, thrown to David Butler, and it's a touchdown on Mansfield.
Peacock, big pass to David Butler. Works for the touchdown.
13-yard pass completion. Peacock to the Butler. Count it. That's 6 points, and it's now 12-0 Mansfield. Mountaineers are going to go for 2. They stack it up in the backfield. The turnaround to the second man throw. Spinning, twisting, turning, and yes, it's good. Chase Moser. And the Mountaineers add 2 more to the tally. It's a 14-0 score here at Mansfield University. And we will be back.
UPMC is a visionary hospital. Cutting-edge research, all of the exciting things out on the edge of medicine.
There's a challenge every day, and there's the potential to help. When given the opportunity to make a difference in someone's life, that's a tremendous feeling.
UPMC's interest in bringing the best there is in the science and research and bringing that bench side to the bedside is what makes a huge difference.
Life-changing medicine is not only medical treatment or surgical treatment, but giving patients hope.
It's all part of Mother Nature's perfect blend.
Or credit union, where the more you participate, the more you share its benefits.
So the Mountaineers add 8 more points to their tally to make it 14-0 here. Karl Van Norman Field, Colby Peacock. Make that kickoff fielded at about the 15-yard line. There's some running room on the far side. Down the sideline, and will they be able to catch him? Finally, from behind at about the 23-yard line as the Battlers rattle off multiple yards out there. And they have their, that's Young on the carry, but they have deep penetration and ideal field position for Timmy Tillman. And it's interesting that Timmy Tillman did not start this game. Josh DeRocha. And uncertain whether he might have been shaken up or whatever the case.
No, DeRocha's back in now.
All right.
They subbed him back in.
So maybe for close range, whatever the case. Here's a handoff.
Almost like a middle reliever in baseball. It'll be a situational thing. They'll do this in and out all game as they'll switch out between these 2 quarterbacks.
Ronnie Robinson on the carry.
Will any members of the inductees who will be introduced at the end of the quarter in the Hall of Fame, if you kind of make your way towards the track area, kind of by the main gate by the 50-yard line, that would be great. We would like to introduce the Hall of Fame members at the conclusion of quarter number 1.
Second down at 10 for the Battlers. Robinson gained nothing last time. DeRocha going up top. And a pass complete. And I don't see an indication at this point.
Yeah, it's a touchdown.
Okay.
Touchdown pass for Alderson Broaddus. Teddy Tyler on the receiving end.
Tyler reels it in for the 6 points. So let's see if Broderson will go for 2 or a single point try. They're going to kick. Marquise Sorrells to hold. The kick is up. It's no good. So fans, the Battlers get on the board with a nifty reception. And right now we're looking at a 14-6 lead in favor of the Mansfield University Mountaineers.
in Bath, New York.
With Tubby Schmidt, Bob Michaels here at Van Norman Field as the Mountaineers surrender 6 points to Alderson Broaddus. And the extra point attempt, a single point try, no good. So it's an 8-point difference in this contest. 14-6. Mansfield. Two men deep for the Mountaineers. It's an end-over-end kick, fielded at the 26. And look out. Extreme punishment. Sam Solomon leading the way for the special teams, Tubby. And I'll tell you what, talk about being stopped dead in your tracks.
Yeah, he was picked up in the service at that point.
Mountaineers, they have it on the 25.
Well, in case you just joined us, we had Mountaineers getting on the board first. They failed to get their extra point on that first touchdown, but came back with a jackpot, 6 points and a deuce, and now lead by a score of 14-6 over the Battlers. Got a man in motion, running play and a flag. And tried to go through the front door, but little to no gain out there.
Jaron Driver makes the tackle, penalty on the flag.
I think it's illegal motion. Yep, illegal motion. Illegal shift. Snapped the ball before the motion man got set.
I'm not sure what that was.
I think the ball simply slipped out of his hand.
Yeah, Peacock had actually.
Looks like they may be rolling an incomplete pass.
Well, it didn't look like he had cocked the ball to get ready to release it, and it's just like he had picked it up and kind of fumbled it.
Yeah, but they're going to call it incomplete and give him third down here, 3rd and 10.
Ball resting at about the 24-yard line for Peacock and company. Kobe in the pocket. Looks left, looks right. He's got two men. Look out. Ball comes loose. And it will be fallen upon by the Battlers. And if they do rule it a fumble recovery, it's at the 15-yard line. It is. I don't know that Colby even looked in his rearview mirror with two men just converging on him very quickly from behind.
Yeah, I think he glanced and then wanted to check back downfield, and by the time he got back to look again, they were on him.
So a tough break for the Mountaineers offense, and the offense unit for Alderson Broaddus back on field. And going with a platoon system. Timmy Tillman back in to quarterback the group from West Virginia. Harry Hedelman, the center, ready to snap the ball to Tillman.
Number 2 is now in at quarterback.
Some movement on the line, but I don't see any flag. Tillman turns around. He's going to pass. Got a man deep in the end zone. Thrown and caught and touchdown.
Okay, well, they were right there.
Penalty flag on the field.
Holding, and that's going to negate. Really, that's going to negate that excellent pass on the 22-yard line.
Yeah, sometimes better lucky than good, Bob, because they.
Well, the Mountaineers' pass coverage, they committed a faux pas. You don't want anyone to get behind you, and the receiving end, the man who pulled in the reception, much taller than the secondary defensive guy for Mansfield.
Mansfield's dealing with a little bit of injury, too, in their backfield, Bob, trying to come back from that. So some different players being called upon to step up there in their backfield.
Uncertainty in the ranks. All right, Tillman ready again under center. And the pursuit is on. He's going to be sacked. He's going to lose yardage back to the 35-yard line. Tim Tillman.
Max Johnson on the sack of the quarterback. And that means a $25 donation to St. Jude's Children's Hospital. Compliments of the Roseboro House, Brewery and Restaurant. Max Johnson. Ball spotted back on the 20.
Yeah, Johnson doing a really good job coming off of that defensive tackle spot.
33.
Two seconds on the play clock. Tillman in pursuit. The pass is complete, but it doesn't look like they're going to gain much out there.
Screen pass was complete.
That was complete to Josh Schuster.
Chase Mosier among those on the Mansfield tackle.
Again, Max Johnson again just living in Alderson Broaddus' backfield.
3rd and 28.
Well, we're in the final minute of play in the first. It is a 14-6 lead, and it could well have been a tie score, but a penalty flag negated a touchdown reception by Alderson Broaddus. And now the Battlers, looks like they might spike the ball. They're going to call a timeout, and they will do that here at Mansfield University. And this is a good place for us to step aside, and we'll be back in just one moment.
Pietro and Son wants to help you. You're up.
Well, who could ask for more football, sunshine, and the Mansfield Pride marching band? Good formula there. Tillman's going to go up top, and he's got a man open. Intercepted at the 18-yard line. Mountaineers have the ball. This is Quaker. Quaker to the 40, the 45, makes an adjustment. Midfield down the sideline and bumped out of bounds at the 35-yard line of Alderson Broaddus. Terrence Quaker got the radar going, stayed close to home, and stepped in front of that pass for a great return, but more importantly, an interception for the Mountaineers. And despite my excitedness, I see flags out there. So there are two lying on the field right around the 48-yard line. Coach Evans out on the field, just trying to make assurances that Mansfield will maintain the ball.
Okay, that's going to be holding. Is the first penalty.
Maybe
or is that the only penalty?
Maybe the officials saw the same thing. They're going to walk it off against the Battlers. Just trying to find a spot to begin with.
Because the ball was returned to the Battlers' 40-yard line. So now they're going to walk it off from the 40-yard line. So Mansfield retains possession and will advance the ball to the Battlers' 30-yard line.
Well, that's where Quaker went out of bounds anyways, at the 30.
First down from Mansfield on the 30-yard line.
Well, some of the fans a little more than vocal down below, as you might have heard. David Butler to the right side. Give him the ball. Front door opens up. Tubby, he's doing exactly what he did last week, carrying 5 to 6 guys and 9, 10 extra yards himself. He's inside the 25.
End of quarter number 1.
It just never stops working, continually moving his feet and pushing forward.
Just about 20 seconds remaining. And the Mountaineers are going to let time expire. So a 14-6 score, and the Mountaineers are threatening as we continue our coverage. This is Mansfield University Sprint Football.
What's your buffalo chicken?
Life-changing medicine is not only medical treatment or surgical treatment, but giving patients hope.
UPMC brings so much to the table.
Stop by Mooney's Sports Bar and Grill, 64 West Market Street in Corning, or the Arnett Mall in Horseheads.
NCAA Outdoor Track and Field Championship.
Well, they do it in a big way here, Tubby, at Mansfield. It's homecoming. I don't know who they put in charge of weather, but it's just the perfect palette. And you look at the scene in the background, the backdrop, some of the trees starting to show their fall colors. And we've got football going on, too.
All this and a football game. Imagine that.
In the 1940s and the early 1950s.
Does he get pumped up or what? Chris Vaughn, the public address guy here at Mansfield University.
I tell you what, if you can't get excited listening to Mr. Vaughn call the game here, then you need to seek help from a cardiologist.
Well, we've got some stats we'll take a look at as we're ready to continue.
Basketball team in Mansfield University history. They don't look like football players, do they? A tremendous.
All right, here is Colby Peacock rolling out of the pocket left side, and he will throw it out of bounds. There's a flag.
And they were led by the amazing head coach with 300 wins, Ed Lucen. Here is the 1983-84 men's basketball team. Your Hall of Fame inductees for 2019, Walter Hartshorn, Renee Edwards-King, Don Mahan, and the 1983-84 men's basketball team.
Now they're just saluting so many people from history here at Mansfield University. The basketball team from 83-84 singled out for their accomplishments. Yeah. And here on the field in 2019, ready to resume football. Ball at the 23-yard line. Trips to the right, single receiver left. David Butler to the left of quarterback Colby Peacock. Colby coming near side. Throws the ball underthrown. That was underthrown right around the 10-yard line near side. So it is an incompleted pass and brings up 3rd and 4. 14-6 score early in the second quarter here at Mansfield. Colby in the gun. David Butler on the run.
Butler on the carry.
You know, for a moment I thought we had a flag out there, but you've got a young man from West Virginia that's wearing those glow-in-the-dark.
Yeah, day-glow yellow cleats, and he almost caught me a couple of times.
22-yard line is where Alderson Broaddus will put it in play.
So the Mountaineers turning it over on downs after that incompleted pass. And DeRocha will hand off to Max Christ. Max raising out of bounds. Not enough for a first down, just a little bit short. Let's call it 2nd and 1. Just across the 20-yard line.
2nd and 1 for Alderson Broaddus.
DeRocha once again going to the running game. And again, Christ is his receiver.
Max Christ on the carry, Matt Robert on the tackle.
Well, the quarterback, I should say the Horseheads native, Matt Robert, with his 3rd tackle of the afternoon. DeRocha's going to run and throw, and he's got a completed pass at the 41-yard line of Broaddus.
Taj Roberts on the receiving end of the DeRocha pass. Once again, chains are moved for Alderson Broaddus. It's an AB, 1st and 10.
That completed pass to Roberts, Taj Roberts, enough for a first down. Ball is on the Broaddus side of midfield. We'll call it the 48-yard line. 1st and 10. Under center. DeRocha in the pocket. Now pursued. And he somehow is able to evade. Races right side. Makes an adjustment. Still on his feet. Falling forward. And inside the 45-yard line. Not a first down, but getting pretty close out there, Tubby.
Yeah, it looks like be a 2nd and long 2 yards.
So basically, but I introduce everyone.
Wide receiver near side is Dante Harris for Broaddus. They keep it simple. Running play. It is Matt Christ. Max gang tackled after a first down. And they're not exchanging dinner invitations out there. Chris had something extra to say after he had been stopped.
Yeah, the elusiveness, of the quarterback, Rocher, just really surprised me coming out. I didn't think he had that in him.
Ball at the 36-yard line, 1st and 10. DeRocha draw play, handoff, and the monsters of the linebacking core for Mansfield are able to eat up the ball carrier, stopping him maybe for about a 1-yard loss. We'll say maybe 2. We'll position the ball at the 37-yard line.
Andrew Seawalt led the Mountaineer defense. 2nd down and 11.
Shotgun formation now. DeRocha looks to the right side, unloads a pass, it's caught. Huge tackle at the 28-yard line and a flag. And the flag is back near the line of scrimmage.
Ball to AB inside the Mansfield 30 as we await the penalty call.
And they're going to call roughing the passer against Mansfield.
Well,
should be an automatic first down and some yardage.
14-6 score currently. Alderson Broaddus trailing Mansfield. We are in the middle portion of the second quarter. And with that penalty, it's going to set the stage for a 12-yard line of scrimmage. 1st and 10. Running play near side. Here's the corner. And losing his footing, not so much from contact out there.
Going back, Smith.
Stop Tyler Smith on the carry. So no gain, and the ball remains at the 12-yard line.
No gain, rightly not among those preventing the...
So 2nd down and 10.
2nd down and 10.
Tosh Roberts wide to the far side. Stepping back in the gun formation. DeRocha now under pressure. Rolling to the right. He will carry it. Spins forward. Drops down to the surface. And stopped near the 2-yard line far side.
On the carry.
That was something that looked like it was going to be a busted play. Turns into something more than positive. And so it'll be 1st and goal at the 2-yard line. So the Mountaineers need to stiffen here defensively as Broaddus trying to cash in some chips right now. Here's the turnaround. The give. There will be no celebration at this point as the front line of Mansfield's defense does its job. And Tubby, they stay home to take care of business.
Right. Even backs them up a little bit, too, which gives them a little bit more breathing room. But look for Broaddus just to run the ball again. I mean, you're in here, you're at short field. So you got to be thinking run all the way if you're Mansfield. Just over 9 minutes left to go here in the first half.
All right, 2nd and goal at the 4-yard line. DeRocha under center. There's a flag, and I saw some movement. That was an incompleted pass on the right side.
Pass under defensive pressure.
And it was
Applied by
intended.
Max Johnson falls incomplete. It's 3rd and goal.
Yes, against the Battlers.
If you're Mansfield and you come away from this series and not give any points down here, that's a feather in your cap for this defense.
Psychological victory, huh? Mm-hmm. Ball remaining at the 4-yard line. Three to the right, 1 to the left. And it will be a pass that is caught. He's out of bounds. Just a step out of bounds.
No touchdown.
Yep, well played by the defenseman from Mansfield on that one. Went up with the receiver, but realizing he didn't really have a play on the ball, played on the receiver and just pushed him enough so that he would come down out of bounds.
So what do you think, a field goal try?
I'd go for it. I mean, kicking it, sure you come away with something, but...
They're going to go for a field goal. Remington Hiles, rather. Kick is up. No good. It was close range. He had the angle, and there really wasn't any wind factor.
Well, judging from the American flag, he had the wind at his back, Bob. So and he missed the one earlier. He missed the extra point earlier from when they scored. So I'm saying I would have ran another play. I would have, I don't know, given me like a running back and 2 fullbacks and just pounded it forward.
Well, we had a conference with the officials. And now it's a 2-man summit meeting going on.
Are we going to see a re-kick here? Or what do we do? Oh, no.
Mountaineers will have the ball at the 4-yard line. Yeah. I agree. I don't know why they're not setting the ball out at the 20. He missed the field goal.
Or is that why they're adjusting the sticks and moving it now?
And now we have an official with the ball who will bring it out to the 20. I couldn't figure out what all that was about. And they had to have a conference over that? I don't know. All right, well, it's Mountaineer ball at 20.
The ball is moved out to the 20-yard line after the missed field goal attempt, and that's where Mansfield has it, 1st and 10.
Colby Peacock and David Butler. And Butler racing out left side. And that is an arm tackle that will bring Butler down across the 30-yard line, stopped at the 34. They'll move it back to the 33-yard line. How's your day going today? We've got Tubby Schmidt, Drew Patrick, our producer this afternoon. I'm Bob Michaels, and we are in Mansfield, Pennsylvania for college football. Thanks for joining us as we go back to work. Mansfield, snap and a Butler once again to get the call. And he faked left, went right, and is down across to the 36-yard line.
Second and 7.
Good for about a gain of 3.
8:47 remaining in the first half of play. Colby looking to keep it simple. Little flare screen pass. It's thrown and caught by Jaden Walker.
On the screen pass.
And Walker
On the play by
moving the chains and picking up a first down on that reception. Let's call it the 43-yard line, 1st and 10. Mountaineer territory. A 14-6 lead. John Rogers wide near side. Checks with the line judge. He's ready. Here's the snap. Quick pass to Rogers. Screen pass. He's going the wrong way. John?
Rogers on the receiving end.
And I see a flag on the far side of the field.
Hosea Addison on the tackle. Penalty appears to be against the Mountaineers.
I know they're talking about uncatchable.
Inadvertent flag, apparently. No flag, no penalty. Or is it? Just lost a little bit of yardage out there as Rogers came back to field it. So wave off the flag and let's go to work some more. Moments of indecision and ball placement. Well, no, I guess they're happy with it.
Now that everybody's on the same page. So bring up 2nd and 12 then for Mansfield.
Butler's the lone back. Swing pitch out to Butler left side. David makes an adjustment straight ahead to the midfield mark. And wherever he fell might have been in Broaddus territory.
By Washington.
Right on the dividing line. And we got McLean limping off the field, actually hopping off the field. Favoring his left ankle. So maybe he turned it or he's got a cramp. And the Mountaineers are going to call a timeout.
Sam Solomon, ladies and gentlemen, Sam Solomon.
No, they are not.
Oh, the Badlers also had an injury on their far sideline.
Thank you.
But that young gentleman was taken care of and able to get up off the field under his own power.
Mountaineer sprinting to get people in position. Play clock, not an issue. Kobe with a quick pass, and it skims off the fingertips of two. Not one, but two Mansfield would-be receivers.
Just the way you draw that one up, right, Bob?
Fourth down for the
Ricochet off of receiver 1 to hit receiver 2.
About 3 yards. Peacock.
Well, Walker was one of them, and the other man was Leonte Drake. And neither man was able to come up with that pass. Incomplete.
And now the Battlers will call timeout.
So as they do, Mountaineers have a 4th and long to go. 4th and about 13 with the ball at midfield. I'm sorry, I'm looking at the wrong location. You're right.
I was almost worried because I'm like, really? We got to go that far?
Will handle the honors. Kobe will drop back to the 38-yard line of Mansfield.
Do I need to make an announcement to have to get up and get ready to go to the
And the deep receiver is Tyler Smith. Smith will watch it bounce, but he'll have no chance to field it, as it dies a very quick death at the 18-yard line. So will it be DeRocher or Tillman directing the troops? And that's a question that will probably be answered very quickly by Tubby Smith.
And it's Tillman.
I knew you wouldn't disappoint me.
I try hard. Well, it's kind of easy because Tillman's wearing yellow sleeves and they stick out, whereas DeRocher's going sleeveless.
What do you call it, day glow?
Yeah, day glow.
Tillman loves to go to the air. There's a busted play, and the Mountaineers are going to punish the ball handler.
Max Johnson into the backfield quickly.
Max Johnson would have liked to pick that running back up and just walk him into his own end zone. I mean, he had him. Talk about going the wrong direction.
So the ball's sitting at the 16-yard line.
Second down, 13 to go.
5:34 left in the first half. It is Mansfield 14, Alderson Broaddus 6. Running play right now, and a little bit of a breakdown defensively, and the Mountaineers allow that diminutive running back to kind of slip through a hole.
29.
And he gets out across the 25-yard line. Simmerin Farrar, ball carrier. So it's third down.
4 yards.
Quickly from the huddle and wide near side, Dante Harris. Tillman handoff in the backfield. Bouncing off once, ball comes loose. Mountaineers say they have the ball, and the officials concur. Fumble recovery, Mansfield. Great field position, 25-yard line. And we have an injured player from Alderson that will necessitate halting play for a bit.
Andrew Schleck was able to.
Gabe Ray is the player, appeared to be shaken up down there. Breaking the action here at Van Norman Field, and we'll take a break. our producer Drew Patrick and his crew. Drew and the crew doing an outstanding job here from the video presentation this afternoon. Clear, precise. Got their focus on, and that's the Mansfield group here this afternoon. Mountaineers put together early scoring in the first quarter and have held on. Some strong defensive moves out there on their part to deny Alderson, which had 2 scores negated. One by a flag and another by a player just stepping out of bounds on the reception. Here we go once again. Protecting the Peacock, Kobe Peacock. Drops back, looks, pumps. Long throw into the end zone. And broken up.
Peacock's pass in the end zone for John Rogers.
Rogers has been a favorite receiver the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, he's been a sure-handed target for Peacock, especially on these long rollouts or these post routes.
Last week it was Rogers and DJ McLean who reaped the harvest of multiple passes. And this is going to be a running play. Walker inside the 10-yard line. First down, Mountaineers, first and goal. Now just resting outside the 10. Let's call it first and 10 at the 11-yard line. Peacock again keeps the football himself, running with the ball. He fumbles the ball in the end zone. They fall upon it. Recovering the ball, Mansfield. And that's a touchdown.
Take it any way you can get it at this point.
Wow.
On the fumble recovery for the touchdown.
Boy, that was a tough series of events right there that unfolded. And, you know, I'll tell you what, if I'm coach, I've got my heart in my throat watching the play there. And good thing is it went back to normal position.
Yep, all reset, no harm, no foul. Come out, 6 points to Richer.
They'll go for 2. This is a Hall flag. That was Butler on the carry.
That's somewhat not his fault because he's not going to play that.
Yep, so they'll back him up here 5 yards.
Well, sometimes it's very helpful because you can make an adjustment and just kind of plot your way through the rough road.
Yeah, I mean, taking a little bit of a 5-yard penalty is not so bad because then you're not working with such a truncated field, if you will. You got a little more breathing room.
Kobe is going to pass. Throws a bullet, and it is intercepted. So the Mountaineers, though, do pick up 6 to take a 20-6 lead here as we approach halftime here at Karl Van Norman Field. So thanks so much for joining us, fans. And there will be more coming up right after this.
Able To is a local community.
Life-changing medicine is not only medical treatment or surgical treatment, but giving patients hope.
UPMC brings so much to the table. They're just a comprehensive visionary system.
UPMC is innovative and always on the cutting edge of technology.
Defining not only healthcare, but health.
And Terrence Quaker, an onside kick attempt. Rolls into the secondary. And here is the pursuit as Dante Harris is taken down.
Dante Harris on the return, tackle the play by.
So if you joined us late, Mountaineers pick up their third touchdown of the afternoon.
You have the winning number, bring it to the press box now. 835-584. I repeat, 835-584. 835-584. If that is your winning number, bring it to the press box now.
Josh DeRocha back at quarterback now. Draw play, handed off, running play on the right side. Straight ahead to the 40-yard line. Keeping a drive alive. 3 minutes, 40 seconds left in the first half.
Ball out to the 39-yard line.
DeRocha, he's in trouble. Look out. They've got him in the grasp. And he goes down, and a flag and maybe a face mask. Tubby, I saw a hand reach up toward the helmet area.
I think he had him under the armpit, but they might. I'll have to see what they call here.
Personal foul against Mansfield.
I think they were trying to say unnecessary roughness for the way that he was thrown to the ground, because he had him up underneath, like almost underneath the pads, and then kind of brought the quarterback over him to put him on the ground.
First down on the 48-yard line.
In wrestling, we call it a suplex, but
I thought exactly. So short of midfield. Josh rolling back, screen pass, another flag thrown. Looks like preliminary call would be holding.
And on that last penalty, it's because he continued the tackle through after the whistle.
Okay.
He didn't immediately disengage once the whistle blew. Which
need to get some mics down on the field, or mic up our official. So holding is a call against Battlers, and Mansfield will decline.
And take the loss of down, because it's already 2nd and 15 for Alderson Broaddus.
Yes. Josh DeRocha working out a shotgun formation now. They flush him out of the pocket. He makes an adjustment, races through a hole near side, tries to stiff arm his way down the sideline, and in the process gets pushed out of bounds by Brandon Allen.
Pushed out of bounds by Brandon Allen.
And if Allen wasn't able to make the stop, Matt Robert was right there to help him.
So it'll be 3rd and 10 now.
.228 away from halftime here at Mansfield University. Mountaineers leading 20-6. Low snap. He'll make an adjustment. Fires off a pass and caught, but then dropped at the 40-yard line. Mountaineers pass coverage. Andrew Schwenk.
For Taj Roberts, broken up by Andrew Schwenk. 4th down.
Mountaineers looking to get the football back as Terrence Quaker will drop back to his 10-yard line.
Terrence Quaker, back awaiting the punt. From
Remington Hiles on punt duty. And that will be into the end zone.
Moving punt goes into the end zone.
Quaker a little hesitant there to approach the ball. Special teams were down there very quickly. To Mansfield's advantage, it did bounce and roll in, so they'll bring it out to the 20.
Yeah, I believe it was the Battlers' number 55. Almost ran completely down the field, unaccosted, if you will.
Next ball game here at Mansfield will be on October 26th when they play host to host. I mean, play host to post. That's what I meant to say.
I was with you. I was picking up what you're laying down.
David Butler gets the call. He will be caught from behind and will be brought down. Tackle made by Hosea Addison. Rogers in the grasp and no place to go. I keep hearing what sounded like whistles, and I think it was from the band or whatever the case, and all during that play developing. Peacock's in trouble, and he will rattle off a pass, and it's complete to Rogers. And a first down at the 35-yard line. Oh, my. Colby reminded me of scrambling Fran Tarkington from years gone by, and was able to scramble out of trouble, found Rogers open, completed the pass for a first down at the 35. Conversation on the far side of the field now as a timeout rendered for Broaddus.
We had to take. They were out of. It was the Mansfield took the timeout.
Okay.
As Broaddus was out of timeouts.
1:04 to play. Mountaineers will have a 1st and 10. Mansfield sporting a 2-1 record so far. And a huge win last week at home against Chestnut Hill.
Yeah, and Broaddus is 1-2 coming in here today.
Kobe going downfield. It's trapped. No, that ball was trapped.
Yeah, and they're going to say incomplete, no interception. Much to the chagrin of the Alderson Broaddus faithful here.
Well, we had an excellent vantage point there. The intended receiver had no chance of catching it. Kobe punts once, flares the pass near side. It goes to the sideline and out of play. And he was leveled. And there might be a roughing the passer. Or do you see a flag?
They're calling for something. There's one back there by the line of scrimmage on the far side of the field.
Okay, I see it now.
And I don't.
Well, Colby was hit as he released the football. Well, we're coming up on halftime in the final minute of the first half. Mansfield has put together a 3-touchdown bonanza so far, leading by a score of 20-6. Another first down, and Colby goes with a flare pass, and it's intercepted. And this may be a touchdown for Alderson Broaddus. Picked off and racing into the end zone is Hosea Addison.
Hosea Addison with the interception and subsequent touchdown.
Yep, so a pick six for them brings them within striking distance. They're now only down by 8.
Well, I don't know if that was an ill-advised pass attempt by Kobe Peacock, but Addison read it perfectly. Stepped in front of the pass, and some running on his part. He had to break a couple of tackles. Raced to the outside, then cut back to the interior, and found blue skies, I guess. They'll go for the single-point try.
Miles for the conversion attempt.
So it's a 2012 ball game. Delay of game
penalty
will be called against Broaddus.
Required for the conversion, delay of game penalty.
Pardon me. Daniel Torres is the PAT guy. And he'll work the ball from, the 15-yard line. DeRocha to hold. The snap, the put down. The kick is up and blocked. Ball comes free. And there's a blockade. And the Mountaineers get taken on. That was Quaker, who picked up a second loose ball, trying to run the sideline.
Saving play by Josh DeRocha.
An interesting DeRocha, who doubles as one of the platoon quarterbacks as well as the holder, was able to get up and get back into position to make the tackle of Quaker, pushing him out of bounds.
Yeah, had DeRocha not stopped him, I don't think that anybody would have. I think he would have been gone to the house.
.2012 the score. And we will have a kickoff. 38 seconds on the clock.
Returned by Point Henry last year. First play of the season to electrify the crowd. Yeah. Penn turned the tables pretty quickly.
Jaleel Young, one of the deep men for Mansfield. Fielded at the 16-yard line. Hole opens up near side. And raced out a return to the 15-yard line.
Ryan Ripka.
Healthy return of the kick. And Ripka. Yep, another solid return. Allowed his blockers to get out in front of him and really set it up and develop it for him. And able to break one out down here to midfield.
Mountaineers have 31 seconds to work with here in the first half. Peacock, look out.
Peacock's pass incomplete.
Gets leveled just after he releases the ball.
Addison, second down.
I like that he seems to be more willing to throw it away this time, Bob. He had a tendency earlier in the year where he just wanted to hold onto the ball and he would take the sack rather than throw it away.
They're going to take a knee and let time expire here in the first half. And the two teams will head to the locker room. The score is 20-12. Mansfield leading Alderson Broaddus here at Karl Van Norman Field. With Tubby Schmidt, I'm Bob Michaels, and we have more football in a moment.
What do buffalo chicken, taco, bacon cheeseburger, and rodeo have in?
UPMC is a visionary hospital. Cutting-edge research, all of the exciting things out on the edge of medicine.
There's a challenge every day, and there's the potential to help. When given the opportunity to make a difference in someone's life, that's a tremendous feeling.
UPMC's interest in bringing the best there is in the science and research and bringing that bench side to the bedside is what makes a huge difference.
Life-changing medicine is not only medical treatment or surgical treatment, but giving patients hope.
It's all part of Mother Nature's perfect blend, the keystone of the Keystone State. Visit Potter Tioga, a 2-county scenic outdoor haven conveniently located, yet worlds apart. A place where you can kick back, unwind, and forget about the pressures of life. Disconnect and reconnect with your friends, family, or even yourself while surrounded by nature's beauty. So start planning your adventures today at visitpottertioga.com.
Really well done by Mansfield, coming out early, getting the points on the board right away, and just maintaining it throughout. They were able to control the ball more. They had, it's about even. They had 14 minutes, 15 seconds worth of possession. Alderson Broaddus had 15 minutes. Rushing yards, we did about the same. I mean, it's a lot closer than what the scoreboard says, but Mansfield came out early. I'd look for them to try to recapture that going here into the second half.
All right, well, that's going to wrap up our first half coverage. We'll take a break here, and we'll have more coming up shortly here on RLM Sports at Mounties All Access.
Welcome to Explore the Possibilities with Visit Potter Tioga. I'm Titus.
And I'm Natalie, and today we're exploring Stony Fork Creek Campground, nestled in the scenic mountains near our Pennsylvania Grand Canyon. And joining us today is Randy Grimm, owner of the Stony Fork Creek Campground. Randy, could you tell us a little bit about the layout of the campground?
The campground is approximately 200 acres. It has a trout stream running through it. The Stony Fork Creek has a small lake. Both are stocked. And 214 sites altogether, and lots of things to have fun doing.
So what are some of the options you offer in tent camping for the nature enthusiasts who prefer just the basics?
Well, we have about 60 tent sites all along the stream. Some of them are very primitive, and then we have some with electric and water. To get to the sites, you do have to drive through the stream. Every campsite has a fire ring, a picnic table, and bathhouses very convenient to the campsites. And we're in a valley next to the canyon, so there's 200,000 acres of wooded area next to all the tent sites. So you can get back in away from everybody if you want to and be by yourself.
Now, how about those who have campers or RVs? Do you cater to all sizes, or is there a limit to how big they can be?
We can handle anything that they make out there. We have big sites. We have pull-through sites. We got some in totally shade. Get some out in the sun for the people like that. You can be along the lake that you can fish right from your site. You can be close to the playground so you can watch your children. All of our sites have 20, 30, and 50 amp services on them, so we can handle just about anything you can bring.
Now, Randy, if a couple or a small family is looking for the camping experience but would still prefer 4 walls and a roof overhead, do you have an option to offer them as well?
We do. We have 6 cabins available. All of our cabins have full bathrooms. The deluxe cabins have full kitchens. They have full-size beds, bunk beds. They all have dinette tables. Some of them have sofas in them. They have covered porches on most of them. They all have fire rings and picnic tables out back. And most of the cabins will hold 4 to 6 people. We do have free Wi-Fi. We're out here in the middle of nowhere. You have to keep that in mind because it's sketchy. And we do have some cell phone service, Verizon boosters around the buildings. But we can get you Wi-Fi.
What about additional facilities in the campground? You mentioned showers and a bathhouse, but is there a place to do laundry?
Well, everybody gets dirty when they're camping, especially down by the lake, but we do have a laundry facility here, and we have 4 bathhouses. 2 of them are fairly large. They have 3 showers, 3 baths on both sides, and then we have the one in the tenting area, which is smaller, and then we have the one in the primitive area, which is a little smaller than that.
With such a great location and so much ground to cover, it's easy to see you have something for everyone right here in the campground. What are some of the activities you offer children and adults?
Well, every Friday night we have a hayride that takes you the whole way through the campground. The campground's about a half mile long from one end to the other. Several times through the year we have a pig roast. We have some chicken barbecues. We have bingo. We have kids' games up here on the holidays. We have a reptile show on holiday weekends. We have a game room. We have horseshoes, volleyball. There's a swimming pool. We have 2 different playgrounds. We have a dragon paddle boat and some other paddle boats down there in our lake. And you can also bring your own kayak, canoe to fish out of. So there's plenty of things to do, and the fishing is great in the pond. One other unique feature we have here at the campgrounds, we have 3 horse stalls up here. You can bring your horses. There's a trail from the campground to the canyon, and then you can ride in the canyon for about 7 miles.
Randy, we're tucked back into a beautiful, peaceful spot, and yet we can't be that far from any other attractions. Is that correct?
Oh, there's plenty of attractions around here. We have the Pennsylvania Grand Canyon Overlook is only 7 miles away. Wellsboro downtown is 8 miles straight in this road. And then we have the covered wagon ride, which is probably 10-15 minutes, and the train ride downtown.
I noticed in the office you had what looked like a pretty well-stocked store. As we all know, no matter how planned you are, someone always forgets something.
Well, you're sure right about that. Everybody forgets something. We have a little bit of everything. We have food, we have milk, we have eggs, we have bacon, we have all kinds of camping supplies that you might forget, toiletries and things like that. We also have canned goods and just a little bit of everything. We have ice, firewood, whatever you need, it's there. The hours are Friday night, so we're open until like 11 o'clock. Everybody checked in. But then most of the other days, it's 9 to 5.
Well, Randy, I'm hooked. Where would I go to start making reservations?
Well, you can either call the office directly, or you can go online to our website and put a request in for a site, and we will call you back within 24 hours.
Randy, you truly have a beautiful campground out here. Thank you so much for all the information you've been able to provide us today.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that and appreciate you guys coming out today, and looking forward to seeing everybody at the campground.
For further information and other activities, check out our website at visitpottertioga.com.
I'm Titus.
And I'm Natalie.
Be sure and join us next time for Explore the Possibilities with Visit Potter Tioga.
It is now time for Play of the Week. Last week we had a field hockey against football matchup, and based on your votes, and it was a close vote, this was your winner. This week we have a football versus football matchup. We start Saturday down in Shepherdstown, West Virginia, and the Mansfield Mountaineers get the go-ahead goal off of the toe of Sierra Austin. That's the only goal of the game, and the Mountaineers come away the 1-0 winner against Shepherd. Play number 2 comes from sprint football. After a safety, the ensuing kickoff, and Bob Michaels on the call.
We're going to be fielded at the 29-yard line. It's a burst of speed up the middle to the far sideline, and a kickoff return.
You can vote for which one of these plays is your pick for Play of the Week, and results will be revealed next week.
Cassie Walters and on alto sax, and Christian Warner and Aaron Van Norman on clarinets. We close with the beautiful I Don't Know How to Love Him featuring Mickey Gifford on mellophone.
I'm sitting in the booth, in the announcer's booth next to Chris Vaughn. That's the wrong. Oh, okay. I'm in the booth. Okay.
So basically, then, and I'll give her credit because then all of a sudden, some of our own that kind of really got upset. They felt they could raise money.
got somebody over here that wants to He's just waiting for me to get to us.
No. I live too far away.
You want to come up and down? As the band moves to the track, we're going to tell you about a very special event this evening at 7:30 p.m. That's October 5th. This evening at 7:30 p.m. the music department will present their very famous Prism concert. This 75-minute concert is uninterrupted by applause and features a theater and the round experience for all listeners. An amazing array of musical styles and acts will perform on all corners of the hall. Seniors are going to be $8, adults $10, students $5, and Ladies and gentlemen, the spirit and the pride of Pennsylvania, your very own Mansfield University Marching Band.
Fans, Bob Michaels with Tubby Schmidt. And halftime almost concluded, and I'll tell you, if you ever get an opportunity to come out here and witness the Mansfield Pride, the band, you are in for an outstanding treat, and especially the signature Georgia on My Mind that really brought the crowd to its feet. Well, talking about bringing the crowd to its feet, the Mountaineers on the cusp of maybe a 3-1 season to begin the campaign. They sit at 2-1. They have a 20-12 lead, and it could be a lot closer than that, thanks for some penalties, so to speak, some fine defensive play on the part of the Mountaineers as they play host to Alderson Broaddus. And Tommy Schmidt's been keeping a watchful eye on those all-important numbers, the first half stats. What do you come up with? What jumps out immediately?
Right now, I mean, it looks, if you look at the tail of the tape, Bob, it's pretty even so far. There's only maybe a minute 30-second difference in time of possession for rushing yards versus attempts. You're from Mansfield, you're at 22 attempts for 119 yards, whereas Alderson Broaddus has 19 attempts for 121 yards. Passing yards, Broaddus is a little bit ahead at 92 yards, Mansfield at 64. But, you know, the difference is just simply the scoreboard. They had the Badgers had their chance. They had one score taken off the board due to a penalty. Let's see, penalty versus yards. Mansfield has 3 penalties for 75 yards, whereas Alderson Broaddus has 6 for 133 yards. And I think that's really the big difference here going forward. Rushing-wise, Butler is at 58 yards with 13 carries from Mansfield.
And here we go with the opening kick of the second half. So looking to put those numbers together.
Harris with a long kick return. Terrence Quaker saves the touchdown.
Quaker on a touchdown-saving kickoff return. So you got to believe that this team, the Badlers, and an appropriate name, so to speak, coming out of the halftime locker room, playing some inspired football. And right now they're very much in this football game as they're deep in Mansfield territory. As Timmy Tillman has come out to run the second half show, at least momentarily. It'll be a running play to the left side. Bowie makes a stop for the Mountaineers, and the ball carrier is Ronnie Robinson, listed as a fullback on the schedule.
Charlie has brought it to you.
So Tillman, who used that opportunity to sprint off the field to get the play call, is now back in action. Mountaineers front line stiffening, looking to play denial football. Wide to the far side will be Jared Runyons as a wide receiver. And that'll be a pass, and it's intercepted at the 3-yard line. Back to the near side. And this is Bowie running through a crowd and returns the ball to the 40-yard line where he does a somersault. But more importantly, pumps up the Mountaineer squad. There's some vocal celebrations going on down there on the field and sidelines as well for Mansfield.
More importantly, it was a change of possession, and it was clean, Bob. There was no penalties on the field whatsoever.
So we change from defense to offense now. Mountaineers being led this afternoon by Colby Peacock. We've seen a platoon system for Broaddus this afternoon. Colby working out of the shotgun formation. David Butler, a favorite receiver, a handoff to him, and he'll be stopped short of the goal line, or excuse me, short of the line of scrimmage. And might have lost a yard there. Let's call it second down and 11. The ball at the 39-yard line.
It appeared he wanted to bounce that one outside, but the defender was there, so he tried to go inside. Nothing doing.
Twins left and right for the Mountaineers. Shotgun formation backfield. The ball to Colby. He's got the ball in the air, and it's going to be overthrown. I'm not sure what Colby's intention was there, but he saw that his receiver was unable to break free. So he launched it long, and there were two men deep, possibly the potential of picking it off. Fortunately for Mansfield, Malik Washington was not within range. Teammate was. So going wide will be Jahil Young for the Mountaineers, left side. Once again to Butler. Hole once more. Continues to play punishment football, and he punishes any would-be defenders out there, any would-be tacklers. And that'll set up a fourth down, but they're going to have to punt the football away, Mansfield.
I tell you what, when Mansfield gets a mind to run the ball, and you're a defender on the opposite side, you better make sure you eat your Wheaties that morning before coming out here on the field.
Tyler Smith and Dante Harris are the deep men, backpedaling to near their 25-yard line. Colby Peacock, the man who seems to do it all, including turning the lights out at night. And it is a trick play. Flag on the play.
Mountaineers fake the punt. And Terrence Quaker tackled on the play, short of the first down.
Well short of the first down.
Flags on the field.
I don't know that you ever can expect a game where you don't have flags.
Right.
I don't know if that game ever exists or existed. Well, they're going to point in the direction of the Battlers, and the Mountaineers are going to get a first down.
That's a personal foul against them.
A personal foul penalty will be assessed to Alderson Broaddus.
So that should give the Mounties a fresh new set of downs here.
Yes.
And inside the Battlers' territory.
Now deep to the 40-yard line.
First and 10 Mounties. And they have it on the AB 40.
Homecoming here at Mansfield University. The band, the pageantry, the royalty crowned here at halftime. And we resume football action with Colby Peacock at the helm. David Butler on the road, taking the run to the right side, picks up one.
Sam Sullivan tackling David Butler.
Sam Sullivan's name, who was called earlier, was injured previously, but good to see it was only just a temporary bump in the road for him. He's back on field. Here's the play brought in from the sideline by DJ McLean, and that's another young man whose name we called earlier with an injury. He's part of a triplet look to the left side for the Mountaineers. The snap to Colby, looks to the left side, lots of time, now they're going to chase him. He turns around and the pass is thrown, and it is intercepted. It's picked off by Antonio Warren. Warren continuing to run in a flag after the play. And a second flag flies.
Peacock's pass. Flags on the field.
Desperation time. You were talking about Colby being a little more, shall we say, steady there than he was in the beginning of the season, but that was uncalled for pass. He was in the grass or actually flushed out and being chased down.
Yeah, and that's part of being a freshman quarterback too, knowing that you're playing up with a lead. You have an 8-point lead. It's just the start of the second half. You're in the third quarter. It's okay to take the hit there and go down. We'll sort these penalties out, and See how the wash comes out after the turnover. Personal foul against the Battlers. So,
wow. You listen to some of those fan comments down there, and some lady has got a shrill voice. How can you call a personal foul?
Ball spotted back to the 40-yard line, negating the long return, but it is Alderson Broaddus football.
Yeah. Okay, so DeRoche will bring his squad on out.
10 on their own 40-yard line.
All right, so we're back to the starting quarterback in Josh DeRoche. Under center, hands off, sprint near side. Here's the race to the sideline. Tyler Smith going down hard. And some of the Mountaineers having to restrain one of their own, who apparently felt that there was a little extracurricular directed at him.
Pick up a 5, though.
That Mountaineer player was Nick Yarnovic. Ball's at the 44-yard line of Broaddus. Ball carriers Max Christ. Christ gets to the sideline. Some celebrating going on there.
Christ on the carry. And Chris crosses.
He moves the line, moves the chain. That's a first down. On the Mansfield sign of the 50. They'll mark it at the 48-yard line. 1st and 10. Battlers trailing in the game 20-12. But they've shown that they've got the moxie and the wherewithal. It's just a matter of avoiding penalties. A number of them to their disadvantage in the first half. Here we go. Once again, running play Christ. Tried to dive through a hole that just closed up immediately.
Matt Christ tackle play by Matt Robert. Robert on the tackle.
Yeah, so you hear it.
We have a wide receiver in Chris near side, and he'll be joined by Taj Roberts in the slot. DeRoche looking, and it is dropped, leaping high, and unable to pull it in. Roberts for Broaddus.
Roberts, that pass falls incomplete. 3rd down situation for the Battlers.
So you have a 3rd down. Again, the ball remaining at the 47-yard line of Mansfield. Mansfield setting up with their prevent defense. And again, Christ coming near side, but the wideout is Dante Harris. DeRoche is going to go up top. He flares the ball, thrown and caught. It is pulled down by Harris inside the 40, let's call it the 37-yard line of Mansfield. And the chains move once again. A first down for the Battlers. This team from West Virginia in its inaugural campaign, and they're giving Mansfield a run for their money right now here in the midway through the second half. Or let me say the 3rd quarter. Again, the favorite runner, Max Christ, the freshman running back, 5'10".
Max Christ makes the run.
From this vantage point, it looks a little bit taller than 5'10".
This Mansfield defense, though, has a history. These last 2 games, they've allowed teams to kind of move and play within the 30s, or between the 30s, if you will. But once that the opposing team starts to get close to that 30-yard line, that's when this defense cracks down.
Harris, who's been a receiver left and right, now sets up on the right side as a wide receiver or wide out. And I think there was some premature movement before the ball was snapped. Flags are thrown, whistles sounded out there. A 2nd down and 10, the ball at the 33-yard line. 8:33 remaining in the third quarter.
False start against the Battlers. The ball moved back to the original line of scrimmage. 2nd down, 10 yards.
Beautiful homecoming day. Ceremonies were held earlier. And we continue this football game. DeRocha dropping back. Now they're going to chase him. And he's going to carry that football across the 35 to the 34-yard line.
Keeps the football.
So some lost real estate regained by the quarterback, Josh DeRocher,
Back to
a sophomore.
Prior to the last snap, it's 3rd and 5 again.
$7:36 to play, clock running. 3rd and 5 at the 34-yard line of Mansfield. Battler ball. DeRocha rolling out, stop for a moment. They've got him in the grass. Somehow he eludes an ankle tackle. That might be a horse collar tackle rendered by Chase Mosier.
He had him by the jersey. I mean, his hands were not even up on the kid's shoulder blades, let alone into the collar.
It'll bring out a conference call with the men in the striped shirts.
The non-call earlier was more of a horse collar than that one.
That's what they're going to call.
Personal foul against the Mountaineers.
Sure, why not? I mean, we haven't called one of those today.
First down by penalty for Alderson Broaddus.
So it sets up a 1st down and 10, and the ball will be moved forward to the 20-yard line. Shane Crew once again makes make an adjustment, and DeRocha and company. DeRocha now out of the game. Timmy Tillman back in at quarterbacking. He likes to flare the ball. It's a running play. Christ, they got him in the grasp, and he'll be pulled down with help from Chase Mosier.
Max Chris on the carry, tackled by Chase Mosier.
Lost a yard.
Loss of a yard. 2nd and 11.
Just about 6.5 minutes left in the third quarter here at Mansfield University. Broaddus trailing 20-12. Tim Tillman wants to fire the ball. It's thrown, it's caught near the yard marker, and it might be enough for a 1st down. They needed 3rd and 1. He might have gotten them 3rd and 2.
No, they're still shy because it was 2 and 11 to go.
Okay.
So now they're at 3rd and 10.
See this post that supports blocked my view. Didn't see that other yard marker. No excuse, Bob. So excuse me if I lean to your right or to your left. DeRocha back in game. Screen pass thrown and caught behind the line of scrimmage.
Screen pass caught for a loss.
Ronnie Robinson taken down.
Tackled by Chase Mosier. And it's 4th down and long.
Well, last week it was Robert for Horseheads. This week it's Mosier doing some damage defensively for the Mountaineers. And this rocks the ball back to the 26-yard line. So it'll be 4th down and about 15. Rocha's going to go with a Hail Mary, goes deep in the end zone, and a flag, and there may be defensive pass interference against Mansfield.
Into the end zone, falls incomplete, flag on the flag.
Mansfield defender was playing behind the receiver.
It appeared to me, Bob, that the defender tried to make a play on the ball.
Pass interference on Mansfield. First down, Alderson Broaddus.
Okay, so pass interference against Mansfield.
So first and goal at the 10, or first and goal at the 11.
First and 10 on the 11
First and 10
line
at the 11.
for the Butlers.
Well, this is where you earn your money
Right.
if you're a defender. Key challenge now for the Mountaineers. 3 to the right, 1 to the left, 2 in the backfield. In motion, the keeper. Quarterback steps out of an ankle tackle, lost the ball, and lucky for them, DeRocher
keeps the
got
football.
tripped up, lost the ball, went out of play, and the stop made by Mosier.
By Chase Mosier. Loss of a yard. Second down from the 12-yard line.
This is Tubby. I think this is where you grit your teeth and you dig in strong.
Yep, this is man up territory.
So Mountaineers in that denial mood. Let's see if they can do something here. That's Chris with the ball. Chase to the outside. Rocked down inside the 10-yard line to about the 7.
Chris on the carry. Riley God on another tackle.
You hear the name Riley God, the sophomore, 5'9" defensive back, making the stop.
Ball will be spotted on the Mountaineer 8-yard line. 3rd and 7 from the 8.
Under center, DeRocha flares it up top. Screen pass near side. It'll be a drop right around the 5-yard line. Ronnie Robinson. I swear we've had more hitting in this game than we had last week.
On the tackle, it brings up 4th down for Alderson Broaddus.
So
4th and 4.
they
from
tried
the
a field
95.
goal previously from about that same distance. You thought that was wrong and they should go for it. That's what they're going to do now. Go for it. Christ again, and he's got some room. Did he get in?
Chris on the carry. Close to the first down.
Mansfield believes
It
he's
appears
short.
He may have come up just short as the defense has stiffened.
Wow.
The Mountain defense holds.
So we say grit your teeth and dig in, gentlemen. They do just that,
Mountain
Mansfield.
defense comes up with the stand. Deep.
Definitely drank a hefty cup of concrete and hardened up on that one, Bob.
So from the 2-yard line is where Peacock and company will look to strut their stuff and get out of the end zone or get themselves out of a deep hole. .243 remaining. And Battlers say they've recovered the loose ball. No reading or rendering from the officials. Number of Broaddus players indicating they got the ball, but the Mountaineers apparently survived that little pratfall. Everybody huddles up, or I should say, of the officials, except the man who stands over the football. Need some Jeopardy music here.
Right?
And they say it is a fumble recovery. And Broaddus has the ball inside the 5-yard line.
First down.
First and goal at the 3.
About the Mansfield 3-yard line.
Well, that took a while to really sort out. Broaddus looking to pick up 6 and close the gap. Timmy Tillman called upon to deliver the goods as he directs his offensive unit from Alderson Broaddus. The snap, the give. He's got it. Touchdown. Oh, I thought he crossed the plane.
No.
Cimarron Farrer on the carry. A host of Mountaineer
did not get in.
Did not hit the end zone. Second down on the shadow of the goal line, inside the 1.
So I'd say the length of a credit card or less to cash in some chips here. Tillman again. Give it to Christ. He's in. Touchdown.
Max Christ crosses the goal line, it appears.
But
did he have possession? Did he lose possession on the way in?
That's a good question.
Because the offense is still on the field, and there's no touchdown signal.
No, that's not a touchdown.
So they're going to call it. No, it is a touchdown. Okay, the points are on the board.
Set up for the
okay, now they're going for 2.
Touchdown for Alderson Broaddus.
Going for the tie.
Running back Max Chris.
So let's give Chris credit for the 3-yard touchdown. And here's a 2-point conversion to tie the game. Tillman throwing, it's incomplete. 2-point difference in this game. 20-18. Mountaineers holding on to a very precarious lead here in Mansfield, Pennsylvania. And on this homecoming day, let's take a break and we'll be back with more right after this.
From court to court and lane to lane, under the lights or under the sun, no one delivers Division II sports like NCAA.com. The center of D2 is inside the NCAA.com hub with exclusive highlights of every sport and live broadcasts of every Division II championship found nowhere else. Make NCAA.com yours, the home of Division II college sports.
So after the failed two-point conversion to tie the game, Broaddus will kick off to Mansfield. Series of breaks for the Battlers. Disappointments for the Mountaineers, but it is a close game and certainly giving the fans something to talk about. Waiting to resume, waiting for the kickoff. Remington Hiles signals that he is ready. Here is the kick. And it's an end-over-end kick that will be fielded at the 5-yard line. Out to the 10, the 15, the 20, 25-30, 35-40. Still moving to the midfield. Great return by the Mountaineers. Ryan Ripka.
Ryan Ripka on the great return across the 50-yard line. But there is a penalty flag back on the 20.
Not a surprise, huh?
Nope.
Well, there are two flags, actually. One at the 42-yard line of Broaddus, one at the 21-yard line of Mansfield. How to extend a close game? Multiple flags. Team warning as the team has come out on the playing field.
Something about a sideline violation.
Going to kick again.
Apparently we will have a re-kick.
So everything we said about that.
Okay, yeah, so go ahead.
No, I was going to say, everything we said about that last series, forget it.
Yep, never happened. We're going to redo it.
Hiles will tee it up. Ripka, one of the deep men for Mansfield, standing at the 7-yard line. Hiles has shown that he's got the potential to send it long and deep. And that will be a kick that will be taken at the 13-yard line. Ripka going down hard. Loses the ball. One flag, two flags.
Quaker out close to the 40-yard line with penalty flags adorning the field.
Flag right at the area that Quaker went out of bounds in front of his teammates.
Just a reminder that
that's the 39-yard line.
One more home game to play here at Karl Van Norman Field.
That'll be a personal foul against the Battlers, adding yardage to that return.
At 7 o'clock at night.
They're going to walk it off.
A bye week, and then they trip to Cornell.
That'll give Mansfield an extra 15, which will start them out at the Battlers' 46-yard line.
Wow.
And that'll be against Post University.
Well, it is 2018 Mansfield. We are in the third with 1:36 remaining. Excellent field position for the Mountaineers on this series.
And Dylan Kimmich is in at quarterback.
And David Butler is caught at the line of scrimmage.
Tackle on the play by Sam Solomon. Dylan Kimmich. Now
Dylan Kimmich, okay, I apologize.
Well, I was looking on the sideline. Colby Peacock is watching. He's not sitting. And there's no medical treatment being administered, so maybe it's just time for a change-up. Kimmich in the gun. Nothing changes from that aspect. He's got a man open. Rogers. And Rogers caught from behind, but not before He's brought down inside the 5-yard line.
I tell you what, coming off the bench and dropping one in the bucket just like that, Bob. Excellent play.
Tackle was made by 22, I believe.
Isaiah Matthews saves the touchdown for Alderson Broaddus. But the Mounties knock on the door. First and goal on the 4-yard line.
Final minute of play in the third, 45 seconds remaining. Mountaineers might have a touchdown play right here.
You need to call timeout.
And they call a timeout.
Yay. All right.
Well, let's go back to that last pass there. As you said, Kimmich coming in cold and not any warm-up passes. And he somehow is able to throw a bomb. And Rogers is able to grab over the shoulder and shuck off 1 and 2 tacklers and bounces into the end zone to give the Mountaineer, or actually inside the 5-yard line.
For 44 yards. 44 yards through the air. All right, well, with the run on attached to it. So,
just north of Mansfield in Toga, Pennsylvania.
As a stats guy, his QBR is pretty dang good right now. 1 for 1 at 44 yards.
As well as you watch the big game.
All right, so here we go, fans.
Facebook to stay up to date with special and fun events.
So Kimmich gets them downfield to within the 5-yard line. And he will continue to orchestrate something here. One final play, perhaps, of the third quarter. And try to give them a little bit of daylight. It's a 2-point ball game currently, 20-18.
Now this is that same formation that they ran many different things out of before.
Yeah, lone man in the backfield is Butler. We were waiting for the referee to come out. All right, Kimmich under center now. Whistles and a flag.
Yeah, they're going to say false start.
False start against the Mounties.
Well, they had number 7 Chase Mosier and number 38 Max Johnson, 2 linemen, 2 defensive linemen in there, and I think they just started. Mosier just started moving just a hair early before the ball was snapped. So they'll reset and do it again.
Let's see if there's a little more discipline there for the Mountaineers. Kimmich in the gun. He'll pass. Well, Jaden Walker was the intended receiver, but it was thrown behind his back. He was cutting toward the interior, kind of like a goalpost route.
Yeah, I think he was trying to stunt towards the post and then break out for the corner, but he just got caught up a little bit there as he tried to break out at the top of the route.
Ten seconds on the play clock. Another pass in the corner, thrown, caught, touchdown! DJ McLean.
DJ McLean on the receiving end of the Kimmich touchdown pass.
So that gives him a little extra breathing room, Mansfield, as he had 6 more to make it 26-18.
All right, we're going to look back now at this throw to the corner. Kimmich looking over, has his man the whole way, throws a back shoulder right in the front of the end zone where only his receiver can get it.
Yeah, he
6 points, man.
Broke the plane. 2-point conversion, is it good? Yes, it is. So it is 28-18 and back to a 10-point bulge for the Mansfield Mountaineers over Alderson Broaddus. There's a break in the action here at Karl Van Norman Field. Tubby now will be back.
From court to court and lane to lane under the lights or under the sun. No one delivers Division II sports like NCAA.com. The center of D2 is inside the NCAA.com hub with exclusive highlights of every sport and live broadcasts of every Division II championship found nowhere else. Make NCAA.com yours, the home of Division II college sports.
All right, waiting for the kickoff once more. The approach by Peacock. Deep end-over-end kick fielded at the 24-yard line. And returned to the 36-yard line.
Kenny Tyler on the return of the Quaker kick.
Tyler runs through the interior of the special teams. So a nice return.
On the tackle.
DeRocha back to run the show for the moment, at least. "24 seconds remaining in the third. Seemed like we had wrapped up the third quarter, but Chris once again. Max across the 40 to the 41-yard line.
To the 41. Max Johnson on the tackle.
Final 10 seconds of the third quarter here at Mansfield, where it is 28-18 Mountaineers.
Conclusion after 3 periods of play. The score Mansfield 28. Alderson Broaddus 18.
Stay with us, fans. We'll be back.
It is now time for Play of the Week. Last week we had a field hockey against football matchup, and based on your votes, and it was a close vote, this was your winner. This week we have a football versus football matchup. We start Saturday down in Shepherdstown, West Virginia, and the Mansfield Mountaineers get the go-ahead goal off of the toe of Sierra Austin. That's the only goal of the game, and the Mountaineers come away the 1-0 winner against Shepherd. Play number 2 comes from sprint football. After a safety, the ensuing kickoff, and Bob Michaels on the call.
We're going to be fielded at the 29-yard line. It's a burst of speed up the middle to the far sideline, and a kickoff return.
You can vote for which one of these plays is your pick for Play of the Week and result.
Total.
Josh DeRocha moving left to right with his squad. Drops back. They've got him in the draft. He gets spun around and put down for a loss. And coming out with his hand extended in the air, Chase Mosier.
Chase Mosier for the St. Jude Children's Hospital. Compliments of the Wellsboro House Restaurant.
Well, I'll tell you what, he ought to get a thank you letter from the Wellsboro House, Chase Mosier. Maybe a free burger and some fries. All the work he's doing today.
See, that's Mansfield's third sack on the day. And
Teddy Tyler going wide left side. Near side, Taj Roberts. They're going to look to the right side. Another sack! Wow! And the solo tackle made by Andrew Seawald.
Makes the tackle, and while the Wellsboro House Restaurant Brewery has a checkbook out,
Back-to-back sacks by the Mountaineers.
Compliment of Andrew Seawald.
First it's Mosier, then it's Seawald. Seawald tackle.
Yep, that'll bring up a total of 5 Mountie sacks.
By my count, it's $125 to be donated. Here's the kick and the punt. Bounces out of bounds on or near the 43-yard line.
Remington Hiles punt out of bounds of about the 45-yard line where the Mountie offense puts it in play. First and 10.
So Mansfield catches a break instead of the 43. It's at the 45-yard line. You know, we talked about McLean earlier coming out of the game limping. He's got that left ankle taped. Looks like maybe a high ankle sprain that he sustained there. Running play and a jet sweep to the right side, and look out, running into problems. Andrew Seawald.
Drew Sitch on the tackle for the Battlers.
28 on the carry. That's Ryan Ripka for Mansfield. Not being able to get it quite out around the corner. But he does have some really good burst speed as he had a couple kickoff returns that's been pretty fruitful.
Wow, that was dangerously close. The ball tipped. And Jaron Driver in the vicinity for Broaddus almost came up with a scoop catch. As it goes, it's just an incompleted pass. So we are in the fourth quarter, fans. A 28-18 lead for the Mansfield Mountaineers. Long pass, split the secondary, and no one comes up a winner on that one.
Mitch's pass just falls incomplete. It'll be fourth down. Will be Peacock back for a punt.
Well, the latest touchdown thrown by Kimmich as Dylan replaced Kobe Peacock, who is back into punt. Got it away, grabbed at the 21-yard line, and there's a running channel that opens up on the far sideline, and a flag is thrown.
A flag on the play.
The Mountaineer player shaken up.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, Van Norman Field will not be done with its activities at the end of the game tonight because we have a Major League field hockey game coming your way tonight. The 6th-ranked team in the country, the Shippensburg Raiders, will be in town to take on your Mountaineers. Mansfield off to their best start in program history with a 7-2 record. The 7-2 Mounties against the 6th team in the country, the Shippensburg Raiders. That comes your way here at Karl Van Norman Field at 6 o'clock this evening.
Well, it's a little past 3 o'clock in the Eastern Zone, and on homecoming Saturday, the home club, Mansfield, leading this one by a score of 28-18, but
and that's where they will take over 1st and 10 for the Battlers.
Ball walked back to the, 23-yard line?
Yeah, I believe they're calling it the 22, Bob. But what's a yard between friends?
Absolutely. Timmy Tillman back quarterbacking now. Mountaineer staying home. And the pursuit.
Ronnie Robinson on the carry.
Ronnie Robinson finding it very difficult to move that ball.
Nick Yornovich makes the defensive stop for the Mountaineers. Nick Yornovich.
Mountaineers have a bye week next week. This will be a carry close to the 30, make that the 25-yard line.
Carter on the carry. August Swimley, and on the Mountaineer tackle, August Swimley with the tackle. Third down for the Battlers.
Let's call it 3rd and 6 at the 35-yard line. 15-minute quarters, 4 minutes having elapsed in this fourth. Tillman's chased out of the pocket now. Will fire a wobbly pass to the sideline. Coverage by the Mountaineers, Gavin Daniker. That really had no chance to pull that down.
Punting situation for the Batman.
But a lot of extreme pressure out there by the Mansfield defense will force once again a 4th and 6 and a punt. Quaker is the deep man. In fact, the only man back for Mansfield. Just kind of walking around, checking out the sights. Now backpedals to about the 43. A flag immediately. A booming kick. And will bounce down at the 48-yard line. Rolls ahead. Here's yet another flag. And there's a skirmish that takes place. And a 3rd flag and a 4th flag.
Multiple flags on the field.
And taking exception, Nick Wagner, who was on the bottom of a pushing and shoving match out there, and one of his teammates came over to help separate him from that, but the officials were there immediately, and they jumped on it, fired off 3 and 4 flags. Now another conference. The thing I've never been able to understand, Tubby, you're wearing pads, you're wearing a helmet. How can you possibly think you're going to inflict any kind of punishment? Not that it's intentional, but...
Right.
I think the only issue would be what you do to yourself, especially with bare knuckles out there.
So 4 out of the 7 officials have thrown a flag on this one play. I just wanted to make sure that everybody got a chance to throw a flag because I don't want anybody left out at this point.
Not at all.
No.
I think we're quickly approaching 45 minutes in conference discussions of penalties that have been assessed in this game so far. All right, they've come out of that huddle. And they'll come to the Mansfield sideline to talk to John Evans. And they'll reciprocate on the far side to talk to Brad Jett, the head coach for Alderson Broaddus. That discussion continues, fans. After the punt, there was a skirmish. While they talk that over, we're going to go to break. We'll be back.
UPMC is a visionary hospital cutting edge research, all of the exciting things out on the edge of medicine.
There's a challenge every day, and there's the potential to help. When given the opportunity to make a difference in someone's life, that's a tremendous feeling.
UPMC's interest in bringing the best there is in the science and research and bringing that bench side to the bedside is what makes a huge difference.
Life-changing medicine is not only medical treatment or surgical treatment, but giving patients hope.
It's all part of Mother Nature's perfect blend, the keystone of the Keystone State. Visit Potter Tioga, a 2-county scenic outdoor haven conveniently located, yet worlds apart. A place where you can kick back, unwind, and forget about the pressures of life. Disconnect and reconnect with your friends, family, or even yourself while surrounded by nature's beauty. So start planning your adventures today at visitpottertioga.com.
Well, after a committee discussion or rendering in front of Mansfield coach John Evans, that same committee went over to talk to Coach Brad Jett, Alderson Broaddus. We still haven't been privy to, nor has the homecoming crowd here at Mansfield in terms of what the Stripes have decided on.
Again, we want to thank all of our corporate sponsors for
But here they come.
Support of Mansfield University. Visit Potter Tioga for the
And here's our penalty interpreter, Tubby Schmidt.
Okay, so we're going to go with illegal motion.
2 federal parks and over 400,000 acres of state park land. Find us online at visitpottertioga.com.
Unsportsmanlike against Broaddus. Unsportsmanlike again against Broaddus. Are then ejected. Unsportsmanlike on Mansfield. No ejection. First down. Mansfield.
Sorted out. Mansfield will have the ball.
Our guess, Tubby, I would think that it was Nicholas Wagner, who was ejected from the game from the Broaddus side of the line.
I believe we're trying to get the... Yeah, that is him. That would be number 17, yes. Nicholas
Wagner.
Yeah.
So he will be escorted off.
Now, because he got ejected in the second half of this game, that makes him ineligible for the first half of their game next week.
Okay.
Because it's a full game suspension if you get a... it's either a targeting or if you get an unsportsmanlike conduct, it's a full game suspension.
Well, right now we have 10 minutes, 45 seconds left in this game.
I believe now we're discussing the field position, perhaps? The home crowd treating the ejected player to a na-na-na-na.
Not my favorite song. All right, here we go. Mountaineers with the ball, 39-yard line, their territory. David Butler, look out, David. No, it's a running play. And Butler is slammed to the turf, and he is writhing around and gets up, and it looks like it's a wrist issue for him, holding on to the right wrist. Coach, I'm in some pain. Have a drink of water. You'll be all right in an hour.
So you rub some dirt on it, but it's turf out here at Mansfield.
Yeah. Here's another running play through the middle. Still going. And that is Jaden Walker, the ever-ready Mountaineer, racing to the 45-yard line of the Battlers. And the Mountaineers have a first down, 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Keeper by Kimmich. He's going to be lucky if he gets anything there.
Dylan Kimmich keeps the football.
Racing out of bounds, chasing him down was Marquise Sorrells.
short yardage pickup, about 2 yards.
Yeah, they're going to give him 2 yards.
Jose Addison was showing some dance moves out there to one of the Mansfield players after the play had ended, and they exchanged slap hands out there. All right, from the shotgun formation, Mountaineers, 28-18 lead. Racing to the outside, that's Walker. Walker cuts a corner and angles in on that first down marker. That is a first down at the 35-yard line of Broaddus.
Definitely what you need to do if you're Mansfield playing with a lead, you need to run the ball out and eat some of this clock up. Just eat it up. You got a 10-point lead. That's all you want to do is get first downs. I mean, score again if you can, sure, but you're not trying to throw the ball all over the place either.
Alderson had pulled within 2, but the Mountaineers helped to extend it, got a touchdown on a 2-point conversion to build a 10-point lead. Another running play. This is David Butler, and Butler inside the 30 to the 28-yard line, and that wrist injury that he may have sustained a short time ago, I put him up for an Emmy there. Great acting on his part. He's back in there. Seemingly nothing the worse for wear.
You might have just caught a stinger, Bob, from like an elbow hitting a funny bone or something.
Kimmich and Butler. The exchange will not bring about much of a gain, although they are within close range of a first down. It is 3rd and about 2.
No gain on that play.
Let's call it 3rd and 3. So Mountaineers in great field position now, striving for another first down. The snap to Kimmich. Butler's got the first down.
David Butler running hard close to the 25-yard line. Zach Wampler.
That'll move the chains once more.
First down, Mounties.
Butler cuts him back inside, racing. He's got one man to catch him, and he is brought down. So Sean Tyler makes the stop at the 10-yard line.
To about the 10-yard line, there's a flag on the field.
And there is a player down with his helmet off from Alderson Broaddus. So they'll conference a little bit on that one. So next week is a bye week for the Mountaineers, and their next scheduled game will be on Senior Day here at Karl Van Norman Field. 7 o'clock contest against Post University. And it is also Pink Out Night. Well, this might be a pink preview here this afternoon as the Mountaineers sporting the pink stockings. Number of those flags hanging, especially off the belt loop of Brandon DeJesus.
Yeah, I was able to make it here last year for the Pink Out, and it's an all-day affair. They had it, I believe we had soccer that morning, football in the afternoon, and then we had field hockey that night. And just the amount of pink and support for the breast cancer awareness campaign that Mansfield puts on is really good.
Davario Reed.
Reed being helped up off the field. Not able to move on his own power, Davario Reed. He's a freshman linebacker.
Foul will be assessed to the Mountaineers.
And you mentioned on that Pink Out day, the 26th, They'll actually start the morning off with field hockey, then go to soccer, and then finish out the night with football. And it's all 3 sports senior night that night, as well as the pink out.
Nothing like the college experience.
Nope. We just had high school senior night at my alma mater last night.
Mm-hmm.
And to see the graduating seniors and realize I had coached these kids in t-ball and baseball made me feel really old.
You are old.
Well, that's true.
That's according to Drew Patrick.
Yeah, he's accurate.
He's old, too. All right, here we go. A quick pass, an out pattern right now, intended for Jaden Walker. Incomplete. Chad Steinmetz had lined up as a wide out near side, along with Brandon DeJesus. Second down and 20 at the 36-yard line for the Mountaineers. They need to get to the 14-yard line for a first down. Kimmich fires a long pass. It's intercepted at the 10-yard line by Tyshawn Tyler.
Tyshawn Tyler with the interception for Alderson Broaddus.
And McLean is on the ground. He was the intended receiver.
I think he landed funny coming down. It was a fairly decently thrown ball. It was just a 50-50 ball. And number 4 just could not, or McLean just could not come up with it. Got a little bit out of position.
Well, they have him off the field on the sideline close to the playing field nonetheless. And it may well be that ankle which he had injured earlier in the day.
All right, well, they address him. We'll go ahead and take a break here and step aside.
So he's going to be carried back to the sideline. Grimacing out there. All right, back to action now. So it is an intercepted pass by the Battlers. They trail in this game by 10, 28-18, 6:14 to play. DeRocha, the handoff through the front door. Out close to the 10-yard line.
Robinson on the carry. Andrew Schweck on the tackle.
Ronnie Robinson getting the call once more.
Pick of about 2 to 3 yards. Second down for the Battlers.
Broaddus has used the platoon system. Timmy Tillman standing on the far sidelines, and he's got that day glow undershirt, long sleeves showing through. DeRocha, meanwhile, in short sleeves, not feeling the chill that might be in the air. He's going to pass. And he's being challenged, and he will fire the ball. And was it a forward pass, or was it a loss of possession? Mountaineers fall on the ball, and actually the Broaddus falling on the ball. They say they haven't said. Oh, it's a
change of possession.
Yeah.
The ball was not an incomplete pass, but rather a fumble recovery.
Wow.
Okay.
What a break for Mansfield. It's first and goal at the 4-yard line for Mansfield.
Now it will be discussed further.
Chris Vaughn knows how to incite a riot down there.
I think they're just
decided to rule an incomplete pass after the indication. And now they indicate a fumble recovery for Mansfield.
Do you believe that? My gosh.
It doesn't really matter. I just, even if it's wrong, just stay wrong. Just stay with one decision. Holy moly.
You think this unit will be invited back to officiate?
Well, depends on the outcome. We got 5 minutes to figure it out and a 10-point lead.
5:18 on the clock officially. It'll be a first and goal at the 4-yard line, perhaps, for the Mountaineers.
The Wilkesboro House Restaurant and Brewery, located a short...
Yeah, let's talk about dinner plans right now as opposed to moving this game along.
As a big kid, I'm hungry. I can talk about some dinner.
And don't forget to ask about the brewery tour. Visit the WilkesboroHouse.com.
Yeah, producer Drew just does not, it's just not uninteresting.
In Horseheads, New York.
I thought that might be a point where Drew Patrick might volunteer to say, hey guys, my treat tonight. No.
Well, unless you're a big fan of ramen noodles. I mean,
yeah, we've got some time to really joke around here, I guess, folks. It's been somewhat of a comedy of discussions in terms of ball possession, flags being thrown, length of conversations with the officials. Was it a fumble? Was it a forward pass? An incompleted pass? Right now, where they have the ball positioned, it would appear that it is Mansfield on the offense.
Well, Broaddus still has their offense on the field. They think they're going to keep it, and apparently now they will.
Okay.
As long as this is the final word and they keep it. So a change of personnel for Mansfield. I mean, this is more indecisive than my cat when it wants to come in or stay out of the house.
Alderson Broaddus, it appears, will retain possession. And it will be third down.
All right, 3rd and 4 at the 4.
14 for Alderson Broaddus. 3rd down, 14 to go.
All right, 3rd and 14. DeRocha working from the end zone. How about a flag, Tubby?
How about
two? Yeah.
Penalty flags again.
You know, they're like Pringles. You can't eat just one, Bob. You gotta have more. Yeah, it's probably going to be, false start against Broaddus.
False start.
Penalty declined. We bring up 4th down now from the 5. So 4th and 14 for the Alderson Broaddus.
Terrence Quaker, how about some action here, buddy? You'll have good field position. Or will they take a safety? Let's see if they bring everybody.
Well, if they block it and recover it, that's a touchdown.
Yes.
Now what? Are we
delay a game?
No.
A penalty flag on the play.
Oh,
I mean, you can't back them up any further, can you?
No. Not really. Well, they're going to try, though.
I believe this will be a delay of game penalty.
And the ball to the 3-yard line.
Hey, Ralph, just turn those headsets off.
Well, they're going to get the kick away. And it will bounce out of bounds near the 33-yard line of Broaddus.
Out of bounds. On about the Butler 35-yard line, where the Valley offense will put into play 1st and 10.
All right, so let's see what the Mountaineers will have in mind here with 4:34 left in regulation and a 10-point lead, 28-18. Dylan Kimmich continues as quarterback. He replaced Kobe Peacock and promptly got an 8-point production, and that's the difference in the game right now. How about Butler carrying the football? David Butler through a crowd, still running, angles to the daylight and in for the score. Touchdown Mansfield, 35-yard run. 36-18, Mountaineers, 34-18. And try not to say that too loud, Chris Vaughn. No penalty flags. Well, the Mountaineers line up for two. Butler running out of the tailback position. And movement. Oh, my goodness. Motion penalty, Mansfield. Or false start. Delay of game.
Delay of game penalty on Mansfield.
Okay. Well, whatever. I mean, it's fine. I really don't mind them taking a delay of game penalty there. You're still eating time off the clock.
Yeah.
You're up by a bunch. Yep, they have
Kimmich will pass.
Oh! What an acrobatic ballerina catch, and now there's flags everywhere. Apparently we can't celebrate.
Two-point conversion on a great catch by John
That's probably going to be
Rogers.
over celebration, but that was a heck of a catch.
Two-point conversion.
I don't know if Drew Patrick's paying attention, but nominee for Play of the Week, Drew, for next week. Right cheer. Now this is that touchdown formation that they normally use. Rolls out, looks over to his left, high points the ball, and brings it in. DJ McLean. Was it DJ? Oh, number 8. That was
Rogers.
John Rogers. I'm sorry.
Well, you had the perfect vantage point. I had a spotter in front of me, and I couldn't see the reception. Must be an old Navy man because he was rocking left to right in standing position. Just trying to counter those waves, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep, getting your sea legs is a definite thing.
All right, this ball is going to go back for the kickoff presentation.
The
unsportsmanlike penalty against Mansfield.
Back to the 20-yard line, and that's where Terrence Quaker will kick off.
So Quaker have a little bit of a challenge there. And it's going to be fielded at the 34-yard line.
And that's Connor Lawson on the tackle.
Yeah.
Coming from behind.
Lawson, the junior.
Ryan Ripka. Direct down to Sean Tyler. On the 38-yard line, and that's where the Alderson Broaddus offense will put it in play, 1st and 10.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I like red and black. I'm just requesting next year, if they go for new uniforms, can we get a different font? Because that'd be great.
Yeah, we thought it was Lawson, right?
Yeah.
And they said it was Ripka. After the fact. Yeah, 26, 28 are so similar from distance.
No game.
Yeah, the assistant sports information guy should carry some weight on the fonts.
One would imagine.
All right, here we go, fans. At the 37-yard line, Timmy Tillman running the offense. And a very quick handoff to, I believe it's Runyons.
Jared Runyons on his first carry of the game.
Taxi's running the motor. The meter is moving down. 3:20 to go. Mansfield has built a 36-18 lead. And at one point it was 20-18. Tillman again. Intercepted by the Mountaineers. They've got daylight. And that is Matt Robert with the interception.
Horses, Matt Robert on the interception. And Robert rolls inside the 5-yard line.
So a shout out to my hometown. Blue Raider, who traded in royal blue and white for black and red, or red and black. Getting some love on the sidelines from his teammates. Setting it up for another potential score, Mansfield.
Timeout. Alderson Broaddus.
All right, there's your cue,
Once
Mr.
again,
Drew.
reminder, 6 o'clock tonight.
And we'll take a break
Not
right
that
here.
far away.
Ryan, when's the last time we were 3-1?
Probably never. Spread? Never. Never. Is this the best thing ever?
Well, they had a 4-3 season last year. That was the best, but they won the last 4.
Bob Michaels back with Tubby Fritch. We asked Ryan McNamara, the sports information director, the last time the Mountaineers were 3-1. He says, never. So a good start here. Here's the running play. And another touchdown, Mountaineers.
Mountaineer touchdown from number 28,
Ryan Ripka. Tell me that's number 28 in case you had any questions.
I appreciate it.
42-18 Mountaineers. All set up by a Matt Robert interception to give them 6 more points. Single point try it slow. And Broaddus will fall on the ball. So with 2:40 to go, add 6 more in the bank for the Mountaineers on homecoming day to make it 42-18. With Tubby Schmidt, we'll be back. Look defensively, offensively, multiple scores today. Anything that stands out immediately for you?
Yeah, I'm just trying to make sure I get the gentleman's name correct.
Well, we wait for Quakers kickoff. That'll be a booming kick. Bouncing down, touched at the 8-yard line. Little loop right there. No place to run. And somehow able to evade capture is Taj Roberts. Roberts down the far sideline. He's got a running channel still on his feet. 2 men to stop him, and finally he bounced out of bounds at the 20-yard line of Mansfield. Did he run out of gas, let alone a running lane? Another flag, though.
But there is a penalty flag on the 32-yard line.
That'll probably be a block in the back, which will bring this all the way back.
Roberts lying on his backside on the far side of the field after just extending himself and got a good blockade of runners or blockers down that far sideline. And may have been shaken up as he went out of bounds near the 20-yard line. But all for naught, at least at this point, as we wait on the rolling of the flag.
Marquise Sorrells, ladies and gentlemen, Marquise Sorrells.
I think he was shaken up earlier, Sorrells. Sorrells was part of that group that was providing blockage for Roberts. Now they're going to, I see one of the officials handing the flag to another who tucks it in his pocket.
Personal foul will be against the Mountaineers.
Ooh. Okay.
And that'll move the ball closer to the end zone for Alderson Broaddus.
So he went out of bounds at the 20. They'll count the personal foul. And that's going to move the ball, half the distance to the goal, I would think, down to the 10-yard line.
Ball spotted on the 10-yard line. First and goal for the Battlers.
All right, Josh DeRocher at the helm right now. 2:21 remaining in regulation. Running play, no place to go though. 42-18 ball game here at Mansfield University as we approach 2 minutes remaining in regulation.
Tacklers for the Mounties defense.
Great day to be a Mountaineer. Again from the 10, second down. Running ball, or rather loose ball.
The quarterback fumbled it, trying to hand off number 13.
Mansfield thinks they have it, and the ruling is Mansfield does have it. So we'll have a change of possession here. Mansfield will take over on their own 15. No.
Andrew Schwenk,
11.
On the fumble recovery.
Well, in my defense, there was a referee walking towards the sideline with a football in his hand, and he was at the 15.
Drew disagrees.
We'll have to look at the tape, Drew. That's okay. He's already fired me at least 3 times today, so we're on pace for a good day.
3's the charm, you know.
Right.
1:33 to go. Back on offense come the boys in red and black. Kimmich remains as the quarterback. Colby Peacock made his contributions. They are bunched tightly together, and there's one.
Mountaineers in the victory formation take the knee.
And once again, they'll watch the play clock wind down.
Yeah, they're going to try to burn as much.
Yeah, game clock game clock a minute. Play clock under 10 seconds.
Take it again.
Did it again.
A reminder, as we said, 3 weeks from today or 3 weeks from
So Mansfield University will move to 3-1 on the season, Tubby, as they take down
Kickoff will be at 7 o'clock.
the visitors from West Virginia, Alderson Broaddus, and they will look for their first win next weekend. Mountaineers, a bye week, and then back. The next encounter here will be against Post University, and that'll be on the 26th.
And that is going to
And there it is, ladies and gentlemen. The final score will be 42-18 in favor of Mansfield University on homecoming day. I'm Bob Michaels for Tubby Schmidt. Changed your name, sir.
That's okay.
And for those of you viewing on Mountie All Access, Tubby and Drew Patrick will have their wrap-up show coming your way. Till then, Bob Michaels, RLM Sports. So long, everybody, from Mansfield University.
As I've gone through school, I've been trying to pay off my tuition as I go, and it wouldn't have been possible without the help of the Mansfield Foundation.
I mean, the Mansfield Foundation already helped me a lot. As of right now, I don't have any school debt whatsoever, and I know the Mansfield Foundation has definitely helped with all the scholarships that I've received over the years for that.
The Mansfield Foundation has helped me out several times throughout my college career. They have helped keep my finances intact.
If you have any sort of instincts, you can get a feel of good people and bad people. Like the people at the foundation are as straightforward as they come.
It's all part of Mother Nature's perfect blend, the keystone of the Keystone State. Visit Potter Tioga, a 2-county scenic outdoor haven, conveniently located, yet worlds apart.
With 10 state parks, 2 federal parks, and over 400,000 acres of state forest land, outdoor recreation certainly does live here, offering hiking, biking, horseback riding, ATV trails, hunting, snowmobiling, cross-country skiing, and so much more.
Close to many urban areas, but far away from the hustle and bustle, you'll feel like you've found a hidden corner of the East Coast where you can experience world-class, authentic outdoor adventure. Whether it's a family outing, a personal challenge, or even a leisurely walk, it all takes on a new perspective in these spectacular surroundings.
Follow our gurus through the Step Outdoor series at visitpottertioga.com and start planning your adventures today.
Back here, folks. The final score, once again on this homecoming Saturday, the Mansfield Mountaineers get the win by a score of 42-18 over Alderson Broaddus. Drew Patrick, Tubby Schmidt here. Tubby, just quickly, what were some of your biggest takeaways from that game?
I saw absolutely no drop-off from last week to this week and this Mansfield defense. Again, they were able to control the battlers between the 30s. They let them move around. Yeah, they let a couple through the fence there, and the battlers did get some points on the board. But overall, the defense held strong. They ended the day with, I want to say, it's like 7 sacks. 6 sacks on the day. Sorry, my math ain't all the greatest, but excellent job by the defense. And offense didn't do too shabby. Wasn't too bad.
Yeah, we came in, there were mistakes made, but this team was able to really regroup and come around. And once again, another 100-yard rushing day for David Butler on the ground. At times, this game became very undisciplined for both squads. You had some chirping back and forth, and that's going to happen with young teams. Both of these squads, very young. We know Alderson Broaddus is in their first year of having this sprint football team. They are over, I want to say 99% freshmen on that team. You have 3 seniors on that group. Plus, you have a Mansfield team who is very young as well. So at times the game got chippy. Yes, we did see an ejection in this game. I thought, the coaches did a very good job of trying to calm down the masses when things happened. We saw them take the steps to try and just have everyone take a breath.
Yep, just step back and separate. And you know what? You're right. Youth will play into that. And, the great thing about freshmen next year, they're sophomores. So you'll have a lot of that gone. But one thing that really sticks out with this team, though, is in football, it's not about what happens to you, it's how you answer back. And at one point it was 18-20, Mansfield, and they were struggling a little bit, and Mansfield just kind of said, okay, well, all right, they scored, and then they went right back down the field again and made it a 10-point differential and put 8 more on the board.
And continuing to talk about those just some frustrations on the field and some things that some undisciplined play at times. You look at the penalties. Both teams had double-digit penalties. Alderson Broaddus, 12 penalties for 195 yards, almost 200 yards of penalties. And Mansfield, not much better, 11 penalties, 170 yards. That has to improve going forward for both of these programs.
Right. And you also look, too, here at the third down conversions. Yeah. Alderson Broaddus was 1 of 14. Mansfield was only 4 of 12 on third down conversions. And they were 1 of 2. Mansfield was on fourth down conversions, whereas the Badlers were 0 for 1 on a fourth down conversion.
Yeah, it was a whole game of almost missed opportunities. Alderson Broaddus had their chances in this game to really get back into this game and make it a game. And they had their chances in the red zone, and turnovers absolutely killed. You can look on your screen right now. Alderson Broaddus had 5 turnovers. Mansfield had 6. That's 11 turnovers in the game for this squad or for both of these squads, and that has to, again, you have to take that next leap. Yes, there were leaps and bounds taken by this Mansfield team. The fact that in their eyes that wasn't a great game and they still scored 42 points in that game, that's how you know your program is improving.
Right. Yeah, if you can walk away after dropping a 40 burger on them and still realize that you have more to give, like that wasn't your best effort, then, cheese and crackers. I mean, you have the world by the horns at that point. And now it's just a matter of, it's cleaning up the small things. It's attitude. The majority of penalties are correctable penalties. They were offsides. They were like not knowing the snap count, moving before the ball. They were attitude issues when it got chippy. Knowing that, it doesn't matter what they say because scoreboard. And once you learn those type of things, those penalties get mitigated, and you just allow the other team. Fine, you want to run your mouth, you want to shoot off and be like that. Great, you do that and help us beat you. That's fine.
Yeah, and that maturity comes with age too. So
yep.
I think really for both programs, and look, Mansfield, they've seen their fair share of struggling. This is the best start. Let's go back to the positives now. We focused on a lot of the negatives right after, but focus on the positives. This is the best start in program history.
Right.
This is a 3-1 start to their season. They're on top right now of the division on their side of the league, and honestly, there's a lot to be happy about for this team.
Right, and they're going into the bye week next week. They get the weekend off, get healed up, as they got a few players that are dinged up, banged up. Then they'll come back home for senior night for the 26th against Post, before they have to go on and take on Cornell.
Yeah.
So you could be looking at potentially a 4-1 team before they head to Cornell.
Well, they got Cornell after the bye week next week. And then Army. That Army game, though, at the very end of the year is what you're talking about there. Absolutely. They still have to get through those games. You mentioned the bye week next week. Last season, this Mansfield team, the bye week was their turning point of the program as a whole. Again, they were 0-3 before that bye week last year, and they didn't lose the rest of the season after that. They went 4-3 on the year. They rolled their way. Here they start 3-1. They have won out of their last 7 games. They've won 6 out of their last 7. And that really has not happened for a Mansfield football team in quite some time there, Tubby.
That's going back to D2 days,
Yes.
I believe. So, definitely since the institutions they instilled sprint bit football here at Mansfield. So, I mean, you want to talk about, upward trends and looking good, and especially looking good in front of your alumni on homecoming. I mean, there's no better stat than that.
Yeah.
So kudos to Coach Evans and the rest of the team and the players out there. I mean, you're doing, not only yourselves proud, but your university proud, and hopefully goes a long way.
And you know what? One last thing. Some of the players that really stood out today, of course, Matt Robert, again, continues to lead this team in tackles and almost had himself a pick 6 as well. Had a pick and got back all the way down to the 2-yard line for Matt Robert. On the offense, we mentioned David Butler. We can continue to mention David Butler. He's been solid. John Rogers was solid. This is the first game he didn't have a touchdown, but he did have that great catch for the 2-point conversion. And then the quarterbacks, Kobe Peacock, he did get pulled in this game. He was 10 for 22, 64. We mentioned in the beginning some of the miscues he has made on the year. He made a couple of errant throws that turned into picks, which is ultimately why the team decided to put in Dylan Kimmich. His first throw, though, for Dylan Kimmich went down the field. It was a beauty.
44 yards on that throw.
And then he found DJ McLean, who's really held in check. Beside that, he only had that one catch for 9 yards. He did suffer an injury, pretty serious injury. He couldn't put weight on that foot. So we'll keep our eye out on that.
Yeah, my 2 guys would be Chase Moser with 2 sacks on the day. Defensive player of the game for me. Offensive player of the game for me, Dylan Kimmich.
Yeah.
Just simply being able to come off the bench cold like that, drop a dime for 44 yards, and then throw another error back. I mean, granted, it was a great play by the receiver, but it was also pretty decent ball placement by him, putting it where only his receiver could go up and get it. And, thank the lucky football gods, wherever they are, that the receiver was able to go up and get it and then toe tap it for the touchdown.
And one more shout-out for a player I'm going to do is Ryan Ripka. He did a lot today, and these guys kept saying the wrong name. So I
did. I am
give
so
Ryan
sorry.
Ripka the credit. He did have a great game, coming in, having a few good runs for him. He even had a score in this game and was great on the kick return game as well. So Ryan Ripka,
yeah,
good on you.
You know what? I apologize not only to Ryan, but also to his family. And you know what? Maybe if I can get him a green sticker or something, I'll put it back on the back of his jersey somewhere, so that way I'll know it's him.
Hey, folks, we are not done here on Mountie All Access. We're going to take a break here, but make sure you come back tonight. Mountie All Access, we have field hockey. Speaking of best starts in program history, the field hockey team off to their best start in program history. They face the defending national champion Shippensburg Raiders, who are on a down start to their year. But here, anything can happen. That starts at 6 o'clock pregame, right at 5:50. So make sure you come back here. This is Mansfield Athletics right here on Mountie All Access. Thank you so much for watching. For George Tubby Schmidt, I'm Drew Patrick saying so long, and we will see you later